The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. And I want to thank you for tuning in. As I don't know why I keep having these problems every week with my audio, but we're gonna work it out. Let me see if I can get some. Well, no, that's turned up. Everything is turned up, so if you can't hear me, you can't hear me. Whatever. But yeah, I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm Tyrone Thompson, and I want to invite you to go to the YouTube channel. That's where I'm at now. I think the website is completely down. I did the Negro thing, and I did not the black folks thing, the color people thing. I didn't pay my last bill, but that's the way the process works. Is you pay ahead of time, and if you don't pay, then the website just goes away. So I think it's gone now. I didn't need to do no more correspondence with them. But the only place I'm at right now is on YouTube. I do still have Facebook pages, but I don't think I'll update them. They was getting automatically updated from the websites because there's little things that you can put on the website that automatic. Anyway, y'all don't even know all that, but welcome to the show. If you want to participate in the show tonight, you can call in. Let me just make sure my audio is right. Yeah, it seems like it's on. You can call in at 717-908-1834, and I'll open your mic. You can hit the participant code, and I'll let you join and the conversation. If you don't want a conversation, if you don't want to join the conversation, just sit back, relax, and enjoy all of this knowledge I bestow on Jermaine, because I know he learns something each week when he come here. What's up, East Coast and Jermaine? I know he come here to get all this knowledge from this country boy, even though he's a right-wing person, and I just use common sense when I use logic to figure out what's going on with his party. What else we got here? Well, look, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all. I don't know. Every week I get on here, right? And it's not my intention to talk about politics constantly, but that's all that's in the news. That is all that's in the news is politics, 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 and people don't realize the influence that these ideas have on society, especially a society like America. It seems like we should have control of all of this crazy stuff, but we don't, because we are the leading nation on the planet, and it seemed like we would have gotten it together now, but it looked like we're stumbling over our own feet as a nation whenever we're trying to move forward as a society. We don't have it together, and it's frustrating because as we stumble over our feet, we stay stagnant and stuck. And it's just there's no growth in this country when it comes to certain things. Of course, you watch the top 1%, the corporations, and the people with the haves. Of course, you watch them create their wealth and brag about it, and some of that trickles down to some people, and then they think that they got it going on, and then you see the celebrities or athletes, but the common everyday person, people like me, and whether you want to believe it or not, Mr. Solutions, people like you, we got it the worst in this damn country. And because of weak-minded people like Mr. Solutions, he's been duped into believing and thinking that somehow or another he's making it right along with the elite. And because of that, you've got these scuffles that happens on this level where we're debating about bullshit that rich people already have. Last week we had a conversation with that Trumper Sarge about the tax cuts, and he swore up and down he benefited. He swore up and down he benefited from the damn Trump tax cuts, and you can't tell him no fucking difference. You can't tell him no difference. Somehow or another, he claimed that he makes $100,000 a year, and even in that category, he didn't get shit. But we bicker back and forth, and that's not the only area that we're bickering in. I'd label the show "Blacks for Trump" and "American Theocracy" is taking over, because that's important. Whenever you look at some of these decisions that are being made in politics, people shied away from my conversation about religion and dogmatic thinking. People felt uncomfortable with me holding the mirror up to their face and telling them how they have been mass indoctrinated with their thinking. And a great part of that is due to how we're brought up wrongfully thinking that somehow or another our morals come from these ancient doctrines. And unless we embrace these doctrines, we're not going to live correctly, and we're not going to get to the land of the milk and honey and the streets paved in gold. This is where a great part of our thinking come from as a society, and we watch that type of thinking be reflected in our politics, right? There's news that relates to what I'm talking about. In Alabama. They passed this IVF, in vitro fertilization, and that has everything to do with religion, guys. I tried to warn people years ago how dangerous this dogmatic thinking was, right? Oh, this is a leap year, and this is the last day of Black History Month. So happy Black History Month. This is the last day, and we got an extra day this year, guys. So we're on that extra day, which is the 29th of February. So happy Black History Month, last day of it. And I said that because I'm getting ready to take this off the screen. But Alabama, you can see the headlines here. I don't know which one to click on. Let me see if USA Today will share this story with us. They're talking about a podcast. What does the Guardian say? Nope, they're talking about protecting IVF. Hold on, I'm going to get. I don't do no research before I turn this damn computer on. So I'm going to find an article. Look like Alabama's law passing to protect. Where's the damn? Hold on for a minute. banning Alabama. Hold on. I'm sorry. I did not pull up an article, so I'm gonna say IVF illegal. And what state was it? Alabama? And I spell Alibaba. Alabama Supreme Court rules. Okay, here we go. Right here. Well, this comes from John Hopkins and Bloomberg. It says the Alabama Supreme Court's ruling on the frozen embryos. Doctors and patients and politicians seek answers on how the February 16th ruling could have far-ranging impacts on health care. The Alabama Supreme Court issued a ruling on February 17th declaring that embryos created through vitro fertilization should be considered children. Several other states IVF clinics have since paused services, and lawmakers, doctors, and patients are raising concerns about the far-ranging impact of the ruling on healthcare, including reproductive technology. In a bonus episode of the Public Health On Call podcast, Joanne Rosen, MD, a practice professor in health policy and management, and an expert in reproductive law, explains why the decision is so extraordinary. She discussed the immediate response to the ruling and its significance in the post-Dobbs era and what could happen next. Now, if you don't know, IVF is a way, and this, I'm just changing it. I'm just describing it as from a country boy's understanding of it, and I put the graphic up so you can see, so I won't screw it up. So IVF is a way people can freeze you can take eggs out of the women, right? And if the guy's having fertility problems, or if the mother's having fertility problems, you can freeze those eggs. And if you get a sample that is a healthy sperm or whatever, you can fertilize those eggs with the sperm, and then you guys can have a child, right? That's my little rudimentary way of explaining it. In vitro fertilization, one of several techniques available to help people with fertility problems have babies. Just what I just said. If you got fertility problems, this is one way you can have children. During IVF, an egg is removed from the woman's ovaries and fertilized with the sperm in a laboratory. The fertilized egg, called an embryo, is then returned to the woman's womb to grow and develop. So, to me, scientifically, there is nothing wrong with this process of trying to have children if you've got problems. Science has came up, and the medical industry has came up with a way to help people that can't get pregnant or has little chance of having families actually have a family through this method of fertilization. So I'm wondering what is wrong with people using IVF to grow their families or have babies. Now, I see ABC is in the chat room, and I want you to respond, if you will, sir. What is wrong, since you are a family guy? What is wrong with people with fertility issues having children using IVF? There's nothing wrong with it. First of all, it's an invasion into an individual's privacy, because if that woman, and we all know this is what we've heard here, that women from the time they're born have all the eggs that they're gonna have or whatever. If that woman chooses to do whatever she wants to with her body parts, and especially if it's aimed towards something like this, having a family later, or if they having fertility issues, using her brain or using their brain to plan for a family, that woman should not be, she should be able to do whatever she want to with the shit inside of her body. And I don't mean to call the egg shit, but she should be able to do what she want to with those eggs. Those eggs don't belong to the fucking government. Whenever you listen to the right wing scream they want to keep government out of your life, they steadily are creating policies that invade people's lives. Now, we had a conversation here on this show about whenever Roe was created, whenever they overturned Roe versus Wade. And one of the things that, my little smart ass said is, what they're gonna do now? Outlaw men jacking off and masturbating? Are they gonna send you to jail for playing with yourself? That wasn't far off from what we seen happen in Alabama. And I was just bullshitting. And then I think it was Sarge and ABC and maybe somebody else said, the states got the right to do whatever they want to do. People can still have abortions if they go out of states and blah, blah, blah. And you just overthinking the decision. But to somebody like me, I seen that was the beginning, right? Because this ain't the only crazy decision that was made. I think there was a case that was just recent that we talked about here on the show, to where there was this woman that had a miscarriage, right? And miscarriages happen. Every birth is not perfect. Trust me, I've experienced a couple myself. Not as a male, but I was involved with people who had miscarriages. The things happen. And they like to send that woman to prison because she had a miscarriage. That is being way too involved in somebody's personal life. This decision in Alabama invades people's privacy and prevents families from growing the way that they want to grow. People on the right about family values and all this kind of stuff. This is being responsible as an adult, taking charge of your life and planning families. And if, like I said, if you're having fertility problems, you can now with science be able to go ahead and have this baby. But because of religion, yeah, I'm going there. Because of religion, and because somebody said to these right-wing lunatics that God, the Lord Jesus, said that babies are not babies, but eggs and sperms are humans. Now you're outlawing freaking you're outlawing embryos. Show me where a sperm got rights in the damn Constitution. Show me in the Constitution where an embryo has rights. Show me in the Constitution where an embryo is a fucking citizen. It's not. But they're trying to put it in the Constitution. Now we got this dummy in the chat room, and I'm glad you showed up, you dumb son of a bitch, because I got something for your ass. Your party, the Republican Party, has put up House Resolution 431, the Life at Conception Act. What the fuck is conception? The action of conceiving a child or of child being conceived. The action of conceiving a child or a child being conceived. So wait a minute. If Leroy and Susan show up at the club on Friday night and they wind up in the bathroom in the action of conceiving a child, that's conception, ain't it? And these Republicans has came up with this HR 431 Life at Conception Act. What does it say, Tyrone? Well, we can just look at what it says, because I'm not making any of this up. This is stupid. There are 124 co-sponsors of this House resolution. Damn near all the goddamn Republicans signed on to this dumbass House resolution that they're trying to turn into a bill with the Life of Conception Act. And I'll put it in the chat room so you guys can read it for your damn self. So let's look at the test of this House resolution. Because it's all about religion, guys. There is no shying away from this now. The Life at Conception Act, it says to implement equal protection under the 14th article of amendment of the Constitution for rights to life for each born and preborn human person. They're creating shit, guys. This is this Congress. A preborn human. They are attempting under our Constitution to give a preborn human the same rights as you and I. That's religion. What do you think about that, Sarge? What do you think about a preborn human having identical rights to you and I? And so you have to break this stuff down. The 14th article of the amendment of the Constitution. So they're talking about, I think they're talking about the 14th amendment, right? The 14th article. We have to do this, guys. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's not. Here we go. 14. all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to its jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and shall and wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any laws which shall abridge on the privileges of the immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, or deny any person within its jurisdiction equal protection under the law. Right up under the 14th Amendment, you're seeing there ain't nobody say anything about fucking preborn humans. You got to be shitting me. Let me just take a pause for the calls and say, what's up, Miss MJ? But you got to be shitting me that we're looking at the 118th Congress with House Resolution 431 trying to come up with legislation to give preborn humans the same rights as citizens that was born that came out the womb already. That's already established. We know that if you're born in this country, you are a citizen and you are afforded certain rights. Why would you try to give my semen or somebody's egg the same rights as a live fucking human? Y'all see, and you, Tyrone, you're going too far. No, the fuck, I ain't going too far because Alabama just said I'm not going too far. Right? It says a bill to implement equal protections under the 14th Article Amendment of the Constitution for the right up to life for each born and preborn humans. Be it enacted, the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America Congress assembled. Short title, this act may be cited as the Life at Conception Act. Once again, what the hell is conception? The Life at Conception Act. What is conception? The act of conceiving, right? Horny teenagers commit the act of conception, right? People in the club, people on Tinder. When you're hooking up with somebody, you're committing the act of conception, right? It's human nature to commit the act of conception all the goddamn time. That's why we here, to reproduce. And in order to reproduce, we've got to conceive. Now you're talking about reaching into people's personal lives. See, this is before the child comes out the womb. This is people hooking up. You're creating laws for if a police officer catch somebody in the park doing something, are they going to test that person to see if the conception was successful? So they can hold them accountable to see if that pre-human has rights? See how dumb this is? And I'm just a damn country boy sitting up here on a Thursday night telling you how stupid the 118th Congress House resolution is. But we pay them our tax dollars to create bills that outlaw people fucking. That's what it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna get through this. Okay, this act may be cited as a life at conception act. The right to life. To implement equal protection for the right to life, each born and preborn human, and pursuant to the duty and authority of Congress, including Congress power under Article 1, Section 8, make necessary and proper law, and Congress power under Section 5 of the 14th article of the amendment to Constitution of the United States of America, the Congress shall hereby declare that the right to life guaranteed by the Constitution is vested in each human being. However, nothing in this act shall be construed as authorized as prosecution of any woman for the death of her unborn child. The definition. For the purposes of this act, human person, human being, the term human person and human being, including each and every member of the species of Homo sapien at all stages of life, including the moment of fertilization, cloning, and other moments at which individual members of the human species come into being. Jermaine, if we were talking about virus and diseases, we'd be talking about vaccines. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about, Jermaine, if you was to go out there and hook up with somebody, conceive with somebody, now the government can knock on your car window, because I know y'all be in the back seat getting it on, and see if they was something conceived there, and then they can hold you accountable for that conception. The term state is used in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States and other applicable provisions of the Constitution, including the District of Columbia and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, and each of its territories are possession of the United States. So they're just letting us know that all 50 states and its included territories, Puerto Rico, is included in this House resolution. And this is not a law yet, and hopefully it don't become a law. I'm just letting you know that on January the 20th, 2023, this was introduced by this Congress to as an extension of the overreach into individuals' lives. Now, I told you, see, there's a reason ABC is obsessed with what people do in their bedroom. There's a reason that he will get on here and he will tell you and complain about how people are screwing. Because as a cult member, as a religious fanatic, their Bible tells them that it's their business to tell people how to and how not to have sex. And now we're seeing it being manifested in the policies of this country. This is why I was trying to tell y'all the dangers of religion so far, a while back. Because if you don't put a stop to this crap, then this is what you'll see. You seen it manifested when they overturned Roe versus Wade. However you say it, woman's right to choose. That was nothing but a religion. The concept of religion manifesting itself in the Supreme Court. That's all it was. And the political party that is promoting this foolery and not allowing the freedoms of America to exist while they steadily taking away freedoms by banning books, not allowing students to learn its own history. They're promoting this theocratical religious doctrine and way of thinking when it comes to restricting women in this country from having the freedoms that everybody else have. That's all this is about. Because the Bible tells women that you're not equal to a man in this country. That you can't make up your own damn mind with what to do with your body. I'm not making this up. It says it in your Bible. But y'all want to run around here and pretend that it doesn't say that. That's why you got people out here like Mr. Solutions and ABC saying that he'd rather have a woman in the house cooking and cleaning than actually contributing equally. That's what that's where this attitude comes from. And it manifested itself on social media in the black manosphere as they started talking about how they want women to be submissive. Y'all remember having all those conversations, these red bottom he bitches. You know, the ones that come on here and their feelings are hurt because of whatever fucking reason their feelings are hurt. And they complain about women all day. They're sad. And they backed up, they horny, they want to, well, you know what they need to do. They need to release. But so because the women ain't doing what the Bible said they supposed to do, and they're running around here all backed up, they start making videos. They start making videos and trying to, without using religion, tell women that they need to follow that doctrine without using religion, right? Ephesians 5, 22 and 33, a woman should submit to their wife. Woman should be at home. Titus 2, 3, and 5. Woman should be silent. 1 Corinthians 14, 26 and 40. I mean, it's all in your damn book. So, but you can't say that on a YouTube video. You can't say on your YouTube he bitch manosphere video that, hey, you're out of place. You need to listen to the Bible, and I am the man and you are the woman. You cannot say what I just said. So what do? You say, well, black women are ruining the community. If the black women just knew their place, then everything would be all right. That's how you cover that shit up. If a black woman would submit, then the black man would have a chance. If a black woman lowered their standards, right? If a black woman lowered their standards, then we could create families. All that shit is religious. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say, but that's where it comes from. And then society, not only black people was eating that shit up, it was getting ate up by the right. So they elected these politicians and a dumbass who, well, you know, I'm gonna start calling Trump a dumbass. Well, I don't know if he's a useful idiot or a dumbass, but they elected somebody who could see how to use these idiots, and they put the politicians into place, and they manipulated the system to get this extreme right-wing Supreme Court into place and start reversing rights in this country. Something that said at one point in time they said that they stood for. They didn't want to reverse any rights, right? Started taking away rights, started banning books like the fucking Nazis. Just imagine. Y'all don't understand how golly. Y'all don't understand how history tells you that suppression of information is the most dangerous thing that any society can do. And during the time that the Nazis was running rampant in Germany, they knew that. They knew that controlling the media suppressing information and getting rid of materials that could teach people using propaganda, they knew how powerful that was. And as a result, because Hitler was a right-wing political ideologist, the right wing of this country, even though, well, even though the right wing of this country still have some of the same core ideas of how to get things done, and they use those same tactics. So when it came to the book banning and controlling information and only allowing the Bible to be read and not allowing people to hear anything about Black history in this country, and not allowing the LGBTQ message and all of this bullshit that they're doing, right? And not only that, Rupert Murdoch, who's a fucking Nazi, Rupert Murdoch controls this big old media empire. They know controlling the media is the key to controlling politics. They know controlling the message is the key to controlling politics. I used to come on here all the time and tell y'all, all y'all have to do during the day, 24/7, on a fucking repeating cycle, turn on your fucking radio, and these people are talking to each other all day and all fucking night long on the fucking radio, on FM, on AM. The left doesn't do that. Anytime you need your fix of right-wing propaganda, all you have to do is turn on the goddamn radio. And that evolved into social media platforms allowing these extremists and propaganda to exist on their platforms without any restraints. That's where QAnon come in, and that's where dummies like ABC and Sarge get sucked in. And that allowed people to restrict voting rights, allow them to push extreme religious ideologies, allowed people to now in Alabama tell us that an embryo is a 14th Amendment citizen. It's incredible how I'm watching all of this and people aren't really getting it. And I'm showing you the text of this 118th Congress and their idea of a human being that has nothing to do with the Constitution as it stands. The Constitution don't say any pre-born, what the fuck did it say? Any pre-born human being or Homo sapien at any stages of life. This is the fucking Republican Party. How can you make legislation about an embryo? How can you make legislation about conception? Life at Conception Act. That's what the fuck this HR says. And don't nobody see nothing wrong with that? And it's been introduced since January 2023. This is how Sarge, yes, the fuck it does, man. Are you stupid? Listen, this is clear. Here is the 14th Amendment, you moron. Show me where it tells you. The 14th Amendment addresses aspects of citizenships and rights of citizens. You can stop at that first fucking sentence, Sarge, and erase that last comment that you just made, you dumbass. Do you know what a citizen is? You know, I can't give you the damn definition. I'll let, Google tell you what a damn citizen is. But the 14th Amendment does preclude them, Sarge. So I don't know. You're in one of those. It says it's a legally recognized subject or national of a state or commonwealth or native or naturalized. So that's a citizen, Sarge. So come on, man. This ain't even a debate. This ain't even a debate, brother. And it's section 1. All persons born. That's not an embryo. Says it right there. All persons born. In order to be born, you have to exit the womb. You have to come outside of the body in order to be born. In order to be naturalized, you have to at least be able to sign the damn documents. Okay, anyway. But your embryo is not in the 14th Amendment, guys. It just isn't. And then it goes on to say, whenever you're born or naturalized in the United States, then you are subject to its jurisdictions and are citizens of the United States wherein they reside. Right? They don't say anything about pre-humans or Homo sapiens at any stage of life. Nothing. But once again, like I said, because of their cult-like mentality, you just witness somebody in the chat room that don't give a fuck about the Constitution as it stands. They want to bend and change the Constitution as their politics winds blow. Political winds blow. And that's what Sarge is doing right now. And you watching it firsthand. Because this is like fucking, I don't know, let's say 8th grade language that I'm reading here. It's not hard to understand what they're saying about who's a citizen in the United States of America. Newborns are entitled to citizens. Listen, motherfucker, the first word that you use, newborns, are not in this conversation, because whenever you say newborn, it's not an embryo no more. We're not talking about the conception stage anymore. Whenever you use the word newborn, you cannot be that fucking slow. Come on. I mean, It's ridiculous. You cannot justify what I'm bringing to you right now. There's no way. And the sad part is they're doing all of this. Well, part of it. At the same time, they're trying to, you know what? They may be smart because you're gonna have a dummy for a president if he wins, and that dummy cannot read the fucking Constitution. So you religious fanatics are be able to take advantage of this fucking dummy and violate every right, every every law in the Constitution. Y'all will be able to take advantage of this dummy and say, Mr. President, the Constitution say that whenever you jerk off, you can lock somebody up because they spilt sperm on the damn curtain or whatever the fuck y'all saying. I mean that's how far it's going to go, guys. I mean, it really is. Whenever a little teenage boy get into that mood and he starts doing whatever he do, or whenever a little girl start doing whatever she do, y'all gonna try to, send them little babies to jail because they have natural feelings, or control that, I think it's more about control. And like I said, once you start dating in high school, once you start going out on dates, once you start meeting on the dating apps, once you start hanging out and doing whatever you're going to do, all of that is considered conception. And you got a fucking House resolution says Life at Conception Act. And y'all know an act is a law proposal, right? And they're trying to make this the law of the land. Clearly, they have lost their fucking minds and don't know how to legislate. I always told y'all the Republicans don't know how to govern. And they wrote it all pretty with the co-sponsors and the wording. It's just stupid that they wasting my motherfucking tax dollars on dumb shit like this. That's what pisses me off. This makes no sense. It makes no damn sense. And if this become the law in the United States of America, I'm gonna snatch my damn eyeballs out of my head. I don't know. I don't know. It's just ridiculous to watch these Republicans do shit like this. Because we seen them stumble all over themselves this entire time. We seen Donald Trump lie about the elections. We seen a whole fucking nation of white people go up there and try to change the outcome of an election. We seen Curry Lake run around here for months on end and lie about the results of winning the governorship. We seen Mike Lindell, who's a goddamn My Pillow guy, sit up here and have to spend money and lawsuits, lying about the election. Rudy Giuliani, who was once a fucking well-recognized person in New York and the mayor and a law attorney, we seen him lose his fucking career. We seen all of these motherfucking people that were supposed to be professionals in this country bend over backwards for this dumb shit that turned into HR 431. We know they don't. We watched them go after Hunter Biden month after month after month after month. And guess what, y'all? Since I said that, I think Hunter Biden was on the hill today. Let me see. They finally wanted him behind closed doors, right? And they finally got him to testify today. I know I'll be all over the place, so let me paste this in here. Let me see. Who's this? Newsweek. Can I trust Newsweek? This is February 29th. This is the day. Hunter Biden transcript. Everything he told Congress about Joe Biden. I'm not going to read the entire transcript. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, here's the transcript. Here's the conversation. Here's the transcript. Uh, the point that I'm trying to make is all day today. Okay, the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability Thursday released the transcripts of its closed door meeting with Hunter Biden held the day before. Hunter Biden's deposition was part of the House Republicans' impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. The president is accused of being involved with and benefiting from his son's foreign business dealings. The White House has repeatedly denied that Biden had anything to do with his son's dealings. During Wednesday's closed-door meeting, the House Oversight Committee and Judiciary Committee interviewed Hunter Biden on claims that his father personally benefited from influenced his foreign business deals in China and Ukraine while Biden was the vice president under Obama administration. Hunter said in his open statement that he did not involve his father in his business, adding, "Not while I was practicing lawyer, not in my investments or transactions, domestic or international, not as a board member, and nor as an artist. Uh, all I know is this: my father was never involved in any of my business ever," Hunter Biden said elsewhere in his deposition. "Never received a cent from anybody or never benefited in any way, never took any actions on behalf in any way, and I can absolutely 100% state that is not just in my case, but in every family member's case." Newsweek reached out to Hunter Biden's attorney and the White House via email Thursday night for a comment. Elsewhere during the meeting, Biden told lawmakers he was drunk and probably high when he mentioned his father in the WhatsApp message sent to Chinese associate. "My father was not sitting next to me. My father has no awareness," he said. "My father had no awareness of my business that I was doing. My father never benefited from any business that I was doing." Biden also explained while facing questions from the House Democrats how he had managed to keep his professional dealings separate from his father, who served in the office for the majority of his life. There was one thing I was fully aware of my entire life is my dad was an official of the United States government, and there was a very bright line that I abided to, and I was very cognizant of it," he said. Meanwhile, the president's son was more contentious with the Republicans, including challenging the GOP lawmakers to show him evidence of any instance where the money that I have ever had went to my father. Right there in this meeting today, he asked the Republicans, the ones that are holding the meeting, to show him the evidence that he had any influence or where the money that I have had went to my father. So they had a chance to do it today. He also had a brief heated exchange with the Florida representative Matt Gaetz, who had asked Biden at one point during the deposition if he was on drugs while serving on the board of the Ukraine energy company. Matt Gaetz looked me in the eyes, Hunter said in a response. "You really think that's an appropriate question to ask me?" Read the transcript and provide. Okay, so there's the transcript. Okay, so here's the transcript. Let's see. Hold on. Shit, look like it's 225 pages that we're not going to go over tonight. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that these same people that have been stumbling all over them damn selves finally got Hunter Biden behind closed doors to testify whether Joe Biden was influence peddling or whatever the fuck they've been doing for the last 6 years, accusing Hunter Biden of whatever the hell they was accusing him of, and nothing came out of it. So why in the hell are we allowing these people to still clearly, Sergeant, I know you want to download that transcript. There you go. It's stupid. This dude last week was just telling us about how, you know, Hunter Biden and Joe Biden was connected and Joe Biden got paid all this. No, I mean, the Republicans cannot govern. They got this phony ass impeachment on the president of the United States of America, and the only reason that they have this impeachment is because Donald Trump has been impeached twice, found guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors, but not held accountable by the fucking Senate. He actually did the fucking things that he got impeached for. He called Ukraine and tried to interfere with the United States elections. That's on record. He did that. He fucking tried to overthrow the government on January the 6th. It's on video. Those are high crimes and misdemeanors. He did that. Give us, like Hunter Biden just asked for in the transcript, show him the evidence where the money that he made went to his daddy. They couldn't do that today. The only reason that this impeachment exists is for people like fucking ABC and Sarge. That's it. Sarge need to have his talking points. It's like fucking crack. They need to give these motherfucking crack addicts something to hold on to. Some talking point about Joe Biden. Something that they have to make up shit. They have to make it up. And they have to deflect. Because everything that they're accusing the Biden administration and the left of is something that they've been guilty of. They had Hunter Biden up there asking him about his foreign interaction and the money that he's made from China and the Ukraine. But where the fuck is Jared Kushner whenever he made all that money from the Saudis? Where the hell is Donald Trump whenever he violated the emoluments clause by taking money from China? It's crazy. And all of this fucking chaotic bullshit that we witnessing, right? It turns into legislation like Alabama has just made, to where they try to outlaw these. What they did outlaw IVF. It turns into legislation like that. It turns into legislation. I think that lady was from Texas when she had a miscarriage and she had to go to court because she had a miscarriage, and they tried to charge her with a crime. And when they start rolling back fucking rights and not using precedents to make this country better and grow on the things that we learned from our past, you're gonna see this type of fucking foolery whenever they start electing ignorant people like Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and Ken Cheeseborough. I know Ken Cheeseborough is a fucking lawyer, but Matt Gaetz is accused of fucking child sex trafficking. This ain't no made up shit. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Family Values fucking party, cheated on her goddamn husband, and now she's fucking divorced from screwing somebody. Lauren Boebert, we seen her sitting in a movie theater jerking somebody off and vaping and fighting her husband in public or whatever. They as a matter of fact, Lauren Boebert's son just got in trouble. Jesus Christ, Lauren Boebert, her son, all of this shit just happened. Hold on. Lauren Boebert's son, Tyler. Okay, here. These people with the family fucking values. This is who the hell you're listening to. This is who Sarge and ABC follow. Here's the headline. Lauren Boebert's son, Tyler, arrested, facing 22 charges. What? The Denver Post. Let's see what the hell this is. 22 felonies. Misdemeanor charges. It breaks my heart. Oh, my goodness. U.S. Representative Lauren Boebert's eldest son was arrested Tuesday in connection with a string of car break-ins and stolen credit cards that was used to buy food, diesel, and other items, according to the Rifle Police Department. But wait a minute. Aren't these the motherfucking people that y'all say got it together? These are the people ABC said she had a husband and a wife? The nuclear family? Ain't this the motherfucker who got a underage girl pregnant? Right? Police arrested Tyler Boebert, 18, about 2:30 on Tuesday. The department said that the Facebook post, he appeared virtually in Garfield County Court from jail Wednesday afternoon. He is facing 4 felony charges of criminal possession of ID documents and multiple victims, 1 count of conspiracy to commit felony, and over 15 additional misdemeanor petty offenses. The department, I'm fucking done. Listen, this is the problem. Is they listen to motherfuckers like Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Matt Gaetz. These kind of idiots are creating legislation that outlaws frozen fucking embryos and comes up with fucking bills that actually is titled Life at Conception Act. Why in what? Okay, guys, listen. I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna wrap it up like this right here. Here's the bottom line: is that we're watching a mass push to get black people engaged in right-wing politics. We heard it last week. Whenever we heard the Fox News hosts tell us that black people was gonna vote for them because of fucking sneakers, that's what we heard. Right? If you don't believe me, here it is again. I'll play it for you one more time. This is what Fox is saying. A fucking national show is telling us this.
There was a big win for Trump this weekend, hours after he launched his new sneaker line in a surprise visit to SneakerCon in Philadelphia. The gold Never Surrender high tops officially sold out. No word yet on if the limited supply of $399 kicks will be restocked. Jason, you're a fashionable guy. Will you be getting yourself some Trump sneakers, bright gold, so you can blend in here on the street?
Him at a trial, or they try to throw all of this, sludge at him. He somehow survives, which must drive his opponents crazy, because even the sneaker thing, I was on social media last night. Very interesting, as you see black support eroding from Joe Biden. This is connecting with black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love this is a big deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics. The culture always trumps politics. And Trump understands culture like no politician I've ever seen.
Question for you on that point, though.
Yeah.
Will the people that are excited about the sneakers and excited about Donald Trump, will that translate into them going out and voting for Donald Trump?
Well, anybody willing to put $400 down for a pair of sneakers? Yeah, I think that's commitment and love.
It's something. You're right.
It's something. It's affection on some level. I don't think this is just for collectors. It's for people who want Donald Trump brand sneakers. That, again, he's connecting on a different level, and that.
I hope he brings new voters into the fold, though, because I have a feeling the people that are going to go buy the $400 sneakers were probably going to vote for Trump anyway. So that's my concern. How does he get new voters into the fold? That's my concern.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Okay, and that's one instance of how they looking at your dumb black ass, right? As you see these black social media influencers on social media telling you to disengage from politics or vote another party or vote down ballot. They're telling your dumb ass to vote for Republicans because of fucking shoes, right? And if you don't have to believe me, because Donald Trump said it him fucking self. This is Donald Trump at a black conservative rally down here in South Carolina. This happened, I think, over this past weekend.
Pastor Mark Burns. Mark, where are you? Where's Mark Burns?
He's a great guy. Good. These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones, you see? That's how far I've come. That's how far I've come. That's a long way, isn't it? We've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see
Pastor
black
Mark
people
Burns.
walking around with my
Mark, where are you?
mugshot. You know, they do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece. It's pretty amazing.
He's saying because he had a mug shot, that black people are now more inclined to pay him some attention, or he kind of in line with black people because he got a mug shot. What does that mean, guys? That means he looks at you to fill his prison industrial complex, and because you do, you should have sympathy for them because you stay in jail all the goddamn time. And the only way that you're going to be invested in politics is that if we talk in the direction of you being in prison or enslaved in this damn country. That's the Republican. They're blatantly saying it. Now, don't get me wrong, and I hate to do both sides because the Republicans do both sides all the time, but I got to do both sides this time. Because whenever it comes to the Democratic policies, they talk about mass incarceration and easing up laws to allow black people. So it's both sides when it comes to this incarceration thing, but we have a front-running presidential candidate that is telling you that, you know, at first he told you that, you know, he can't see people. He can't see nobody because of the bright lights. And the only thing that he can see is the black people. This is what this man just said. Listen to what he said.
Pastor Mark Burns. Mark, where are you? Where's Mark Burns? He's a great guy. Good. These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones, you see? That's how far I've come.
He's saying that you so damn black in his fucking audience. At his rallies, the lights are so bright, the only people he can see in his audience is the black people. And people say Donald Trump is not racist. The entire Republican Party is fucking racist, and they're blatantly racist. I don't get it. Why is there still a question? Why is this man still running for the most powerful office on this damn planet? This should not even be a thing. This should not even be an issue. These people with Trump derangement syndrome, these people that are obsessed with Donald Trump, these people that look at Donald Trump as the Messiah or the second coming of Jesus, these people that think that Donald Trump is going to save the fucking planet or save the world, these people are the one that is empowering this lunatic. And that's not it. That's not it. You got black people. I seen an article where you got Fat Joe. Lean back. Fat Joe out there buying Donald Trump sneakers. These rappers, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Kanye West, all of these they're trying to get your dumb ass attention because all you do is listen to fucking rap, right? Buy sneakers, right? Get locked the fuck up, right? And not one damn time have they talked about reparations. And not one damn time have they been talking about making the income disparity in this country more on an even player field. Not one time have they been talking about addressing the police genocide against Black Americans in this country. No. The light's so bright that your black ass is the only one that can be seen. There's a mugshot that you are sympathetic to. He's got sneakers, and you're going to vote for him because of his golden fucking shoes. That's the political message coming from the right to Black America. At least the last couple of cycles, we were talking about reparations and we were talking about economics on a certain degree. But this time, nobody don't give a shit about you. So why should you vote for a Democrat? Because if you don't vote for a damn Democrat, this is what you're going to get. And you can't say that the infrastructure bill did not help out the economy of Black Americans. You can't say the Affordable Care Act didn't give Black Americans health care. You can't say the fact that Joe Biden and the Democrat administration put forward the Student Loan Repayment Act that didn't help out Black Americans. And countless other policies that helped America, help Black people. But we know the policy that Trump first enacted when he got in office was, the tax cut. And he shut down the government because he tried to take our money to build this damn border wall that he promised the Mexicans would pay for. So, I know I done said enough, guys. I know I was all over the place, and I appreciate y'all listening to me vent. And if y'all want to call in, the number to call is 717-908-1834. I'll shut my mouth now, and I'll let you guys on the line. You hit 917-324 and hit *61, and I'll open your mic. But guys, this country got problems. This country got problems. Religion is taking over politics, and they're enacting policies based off of their religious ideology. They're attacking the Black vote by trying to disenfranchise Black voters, and the Black voters are clearly listening to what the hell they're saying, because you got people like Fat Joe and people like Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and others out there, timidly saying, they buying his fucking shoes and all this kind of bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Who's this unknown caller?
It's me, Tyrone.
Hey, what's up, man?
Listen, you touched on a subject that's near and dear to my heart, and I dare say it's probably almost a mission statement of TRS about religion. So rather than bang on religion in our traditional way, I wanted to use this Donald Trump shit to show that religion is a failure, because all the people that are backing this man are backing him behind some sort of religious belief. And it showed.
Right.
And these evangelicals have turned to terrorism. They are in love with this dude so much because they're calling themselves nationalists now. But I just wanted to leave it there. You spark something, and we get tossed around on here on TRS because we always banging against some form of religion, usually Christianity, and that's exactly the sect of religion that has taken over our damn country as far as the Republican Party is concerned. Peace, brother.
And Mama's boy hit it right. I mean, it's natural evolution of that philosophy, of any philosophy, no matter whether you're a Jew or a Muslim or Christian. It always escalates and evolves to violence, and that's what you see whenever you look at Saudi Arabia, whenever you look at Iran, whenever you look at Israel, it always evolved to violence. And now that you're looking at America and its evangelical and extremist religion, that's what it's going to turn to. Is first you creating laws to lock people up, and then you're going to have people standing at these clinics forcefully trying to impact people's free will in this country. And I use that term loosely. I'm not using it religiously. I'm just telling you people are free to me. And these religious people are going to try to use these people's use their free will against them and try to enforce their own beliefs on them. And it's going to evolve into violence. You see it with the decision of Roe versus Wade, because if you get an abortion in certain states now, you're going to be arrested or contained. It's a steady evolution all over the planet when it comes to these religions, where it escalates into violence, and that's what is going on. But we are too in this country too bougie. You know, we are above that. You know, we're not going to be like the damn Muslims and chop people heads off. We're not going to do that. But you are. That's exactly what you're doing. And you're allowing this orange idiot to lead you down a path of I don't know, this theocracy. So yeah, I agree. I agree with what Mama's Boy just said, and that's what it's about, guys. You can see it in Alabama, like I said, and you can see it in the House Republicans. And Joe just said it just perfect in the chat room. It's the American Taliban. That's that's what it is. But nobody don't like to talk about that because it's Jesus Christ, and it's the Bible, and it's sacred, and we can't criticize that. But you got to criticize that if they're using that to implement these extreme policies. Go ahead, brother.
I just wanted to bring this one thing up. It's near and dear to my heart too, because if you run around calling yourself a black nationalist, you're gonna have every cracker in the United States watching you. But these crackers can run around and call themselves evangelical nationalists.
Yeah, they call it Christian nationalists, white nationalists. But I don't see that. I don't know if
Yeah,
they say white
but we know what a white nationalist is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Klan. That's a white terrorist, right?
Yep. Yep.
So that's why white folks get up in arms when you call yourself a black nationalist, because they know what a nationalist is. They created the motherfucking word, white nationalist. That
Well,
mean
the way the United States was created and our rules, that Constitution is not supposed to allow these theocracies to take over the nationalist way of thinking. It's supposed to be rules and laws. That's what we're supposed to go by. We're not supposed to go by any religion. That's the way the Constitution is. But these people are saying, screw the Constitution. We're going to use our religion nationally to control people.
They
Jabbar,
want
let me see.
when
I
I
think
hear
it's Jabbar. Did you push one, Jabbar?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, man?
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah. What's happening?
What's up, Jabbar?
Okay. Hey, how y'all doing?
All right.
I just want to say this. I don't think that HR bill is going to pass because it's definitely contrary to United States law. In particular, if you go to Cornell Law and look up Title I USC subsection 8, it defines what a person is. It defines what a human being is. It defines what born alive means.
Mm-hmm.
And it clearly states that until you are born alive, or breathing, and are moving, you are not a citizen, and you're not a person. You're not a human being until you're born alive, which of course means you don't have any rights until you are born.
Right.
So I don't think that's going to pass.
You don't think that that's what?
I don't think that HR bill is going to pass, become law.
Oh
Or if
no,
it
no,
does,
it don't have to pass because
okay.
like in Alabama, what I just showed you is that they outlawed IVF, which is frozen embryos. So each state, because they got rid of Roe versus Wade, each state can take it upon themselves and tell us what is a citizen and who has rights. And that's what they did in Alabama.
As a matter of fact, Jabari, am I saying your name right, brother?
Jabbar, yeah, you can say Jabbar.
Jabbar.
That's cool.
As a matter of fact, Jabbar, it would our nation's Congress would have to create a law counteracting that shit. And right now, you can't get them motherfuckers to agree on much of nothing. But that's the only way you could change it, cause states' rights type of shit, and you would have to pass a federal law, killing that. That's the only way you would be able to affect it. I mean, they're trying to backtrack. I guess the state could actually go back into session and change the law, but good luck with that.
And the way that they
Now,
did it, is that whenever they did overturn Roe versus Wade, they said, okay, we're handing it back down to the states. States, you guys take care of this abortion thing. So that gave the states the freedom to come up with decisions like this right here and actually say, okay, so now we can outlaw frozen embryos. And that's what they did.
okay, but didn't you mention something about citizenship?
Yeah, I mentioned citizenship because of an embryo is not a citizen. And that title, the bill, the House resolution that I was referring to, the Life at Conception Act, they're the ones referring to preborn humans or Homo sapiens at any stage of life. They're referring to them as citizens.
And if I'm understanding you right, then I mean, to my understanding, the federal government determines, specifically Congress, determines who is and who is not a citizen, and that's in the 14th Amendment.
Yeah,
So,
the Constitution does.
so
Yeah.
if it, right, so if the state comes back and say, well, frozen embryos are citizens, well, that's not up to them to make that determination.
For
Okay,
their
so
state, it is.
well, so like this act, right? This is a 118 Congress, the act, the Life at Conception Act, right? So if this passes the House, right, and then it goes to the Senate, let's say you got a Republican Senate, and it passes that Republican Senate, then it goes to a Republican president, and a Republican president can sign this bill into law. So that's
From
one way.
all states.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's one way to subvert the Constitution and actually put this goddamn law into effect federally. And they will say, okay, well, yeah, the 14th Amendment say this, but we got this law that says this. You get what I'm saying? And Sarge, I might be a little
Yeah, but
rusty on that, but that's how it works.
that, I mean, whatever they pass is going to be contrary to United States law.
Okay, so here I'll give you a perfect example. The Affordable Care Act is a law, right? The health care is not in the Constitution, but because it passed the House, it passed the Senate, and it was signed into
President son.
law, now it's the law of the land, the Affordable Care Act. That's the same way that this thing will come into existence as a law. You get what I'm saying? It would pass the House, it would pass the Senate, and then the president would sign off of it and make it a law. That's how you get
Right,
around.
but right, right, but there's nothing in the um, United States law that preempts. How do I want to say it? There's no existing law that existed before the Affordable Care Act and the other things that you mentioned
Right.
that would make those things illegal if they were passed. you see, you have the first law, and then which is United States law, and then if a state comes around or the federal government comes back around and say, well, we're going to pass this law, which is
Well,
contrary
you
to the
making
original law.
sense. You making sense because that's how Roe versus Wade stood for so many years.
Yeah.
But what you have to understand, Jabbar, is that the Supreme Court changed that. They took that away. That 50-year law that you're describing was overturned and sent back to the states. That's what the Supreme Court said. Nation ain't got no business involved in this. All this shit needs to be decided at the state level. We got nothing to do with it. So now, since the states get the word that it's them, or the states decide on reproductive care, they're doing it. And you're saying, no, they can't do that, even though 14th Amendment don't allow them to do it. Well, the Supreme Court overturned it and allowed the states to make the decisions now. So now it's almost like we took 5 steps backwards or 50 years back step. You're used to the way things normally work, but the Republican Party has worked tirelessly to reverse all of that and take things back to when it was Jim Crow in this country. And you're getting a prime example with them messing around with women's rights. You know, I mean, that's just straight human rights. A woman to decide what she gonna do with her pregnancy. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Men learn that shit early. Once you get the woman pregnant, what you got to do with it? Thank you.
Let me educate the people. This is a wiki page, and it's talking exactly about what Jabbar is talking about. And it looks like, and he's pointing it out correctly, a way to get around the Constitution. But it said when bills are passed in identical form by both the Senate and the House, it is sent to the president for his signature. If the president signs the bill, it becomes a law. And laws are known as acts of Congress. So whenever it's an act of Congress like that, Jabbar, even though the Constitution say one thing, then that becomes law, federal law actually. And you remember watching that damn show on Saturday morning? I'm just a bill. I'm only a bill. You know, it's the same thing.
Here on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, it works the same way, man. Hey, what's up, Howard?
Well, you would.
Yeah.
I mean,
let Jabari.
Yeah,
I'm acknowledging Howard, but let Jabari finish his talk. Go ahead, Jabari.
Okay. Yeah. Even with that said, if Congress comes back and does pass a law, that gives the states the right to say frozen embryo is a citizen, then what they'll have to do before that is to go back and strike down 1 USC subsection 8, which defines all of these things. They'll have to change the definition.
Okay.
Of what a person is.
They wouldn't have to do that.
No, hold on. He's on point there because that was the argument with Roe versus Wade. Because Roe wasn't in the Constitution at all. So whenever they started making their argument on Roe versus Wade, that's exactly what they did. What Jabari is doing, saying that you're not entitled to this right and all this kind of bullshit because it's not in the Constitution, or it wasn't written any damn where. So
well, he should be rolling with you guys.
But he's just pointing out some stuff. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm pro-choice.
Absolutely, you should be, brother. You should be. You should be able to make a choice whether you want to come out your house, make a left turn or a right turn without anybody tripping on it. You should be able to choose your religion. I guess that's what the Constitution, freedom of religion, without anybody tripping on you or shunning you or tripping on you, brother. You should be. I agree with you totally. But Ty, if you can give me a minute, I just want to give my boy, Mama's Boy, some props. I got on late. I listened to him in the middle of his, what would you call it, a dissertation or whatever. And Mama's boy, you was on point with everything you said. And it's unfortunate that people get caught up in the cult mentality and they may not feel what you're saying because maybe they don't have critical thinking, and they will listen, but they will never, some people will never understand. Well, Mama's boy, you keeping it real, and I like what you're doing, and on that, man, I'm going to back out. I just wanted to say that, and yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing, Mama's boy. You doing your thing, bro. I like that. And Jabari, bruh, you caught up in the mix, and you come so soft, and you try to get your little points across, so we'll accept it. You try to be so soft and humble, but you still bringing the devil's goddamn juice to the game, bro. So it can't be still what you doing, bro.
Toast to you, then, brother. Toast to you.
He a subtle brother. He a subtle brother, Howard. He a subtle brother.
He just gave me a shot right there. Toast to you. Listen to the he just gave me the shot right there. So that also lets me know that he's a devilish. That also lets me he's a devilish ass nigga. Also lets me know he can't come real chest to chest with a nigga. He got to try to go around the corner. I'm gonna go under you. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go through the Cheerio hoop. He can't be real. He can't be real because ain't anything he say is real.
Bruh, I said it the first time, Howard. I said it the first time I heard him talk, and you did him justice with the Cheerio, because I was thinking more like Fruit Loop. But I said it the first time. You got to be a fool. You got to be stupid. But I'm going to leave that.
Absolutely. He can't stand up and be a man and say, hey, man, you wrong. You fucked up. He want to go through this, justified it. That's cult mind thinking, non-critical thinking. But, hey, Jabari, you keep getting in these conversations, then maybe you will learn, or maybe you become like your boy Sarge and just holler to the tops of your lungs and hope somebody hear your cult thinking. Maybe you go down that road. But I'm done, Ty.
All right.
Cool. Hey, Mama's boy, keep banging. Cool.
All right. So who's this unknown caller line I just opened?
A bit of clarification, if you don't mind.
Hey, what's going on, Sarge? Welcome to the
It's
show.
all good. Now, look, I'm not going to venture much in the way of opinion about this matter at this time. I just like to say what it has when a bill becomes law, once it's reconciled by both houses of Congress, then it's sent on to the president for a signature.
Mm-hmm.
Once that is passed, even if the bill is unconstitutional, or the law rather, now that it's enacted, is unconstitutional, it stands as law until an appellant challenges it in federal court. Now, an appeals court might issue an injunction to stay enforcement. They might let it stand pending a judgment, but nonetheless, it's still law until you get an injunction or until a court determines that it's unconstitutional. So frequently, unconstitutional laws get passed and they stand as law until they are properly challenged by someone who is granted certiorari by having appropriate standing to bring suit. You understand what I said?
I disagree with you.
What do you mean disagree with me? You mean tell me that? How can you possibly? Okay.
Well, the Dobbs decision was made up, and you said proper standing. You said they bring it to court with proper standing. That eliminates the Dobbs ruling then, because it was made up. Oh, wait, Sarge, let me finish. There wasn't actually a person in that condition. They made their decision on a hypothetical.
Standing simply means that a court has determined, whoever is bringing the suit has determined they have the grounds to bring it. That's all it means. Doesn't mean that
But
they're right or wrong.
you said the key word. You said the key word, Sarge. Person, not hypothetical.
No, I meant to say appellant. The appellant does. That's
No.
when you go before an
If
appellate
I'm
court, you
Sarge,
are an appellant. You're not a person.
hey, Sarge, I will allow you to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. But you could correct me. But when they say a person withstanding, it has to be someone that is being abridged, or some sort of fashion affected by the law in some unconstitutional fucking way, not a hypothetical person. Well, let me finish, Sarge. I know, but you have to understand the Dobbs decision was based off a hypothetical person who had no injury. But when you say withstanding, that's a person with an injury who has a grievance to bring to the court. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm right.
Well, what you're arguing now is that the Supreme Court improperly granted standing, not the fact that they didn't. They granted standing. Now, you could argue that they improperly did it, but since there's no one around to check them, it stands. They said the appellant who brought the suit had standing. And so, therefore, they ruled on the case as to its constitutionality. And they determined, quite correctly, before Roe, that such a matter was a medical procedure that was left entirely within the purview of the state under the 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution.
Okay, so let me get in here, guys, and please don't cut me off, Sarge. Sarge said that the acts of Congress that get signed into law by the president is unconstitutional. That's kind of true and untrue, right? But the reason the process exists is because the Constitution exists, and they can go ahead and use that Constitution, use the Constitution to enact these acts of Congress, right? But the only way it can get declared unconstitutional is the same way Roe got declared unconstitutional, is through the judicial process. So once a judicial review is done, and I just put the explanation on the screen, and they declare it unconstitutional, then it becomes unconstitutional. But it's not by de facto or by default unconstitutional because they sign it into law. That's just not true, Sarge. That's why I disagree with you.
No. I'm saying that many times the legislature has passed into law laws that are unconstitutional. And upon appeal, they are determined by an appellate court, whether it's a lower federal court or the United States Supreme Court, that law duly enacted by the president and the Congress are deemed to be unconstitutional.
But that's upon judicial review.
Well,
it's constitutional. It's law as long as it's not being.
And that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said it stands as law until it is deemed to be unconstitutional.
That ain't what you said.
It is what I said. You don't listen because I don't yell loud enough. That's the problem. Go back and play what I just said, and you will see I said exactly that.
You said that it was unconstitutional even if the president signs it.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I know what I say.
Okay,
this is what bugs me about you. I know what I
said. Well, hold on. Calm down, Sarge. Calm down, because
Sarge, do it all the time.
Calm down. Okay,
I speak clearly.
Calm down, brother. Calm down, brother. Tyrone,
Jesus.
y'all basically said the same thing. You just worded it different. But what he said was, even if when the president signs a bill, it becomes law. Even if it's unconstitutional, it's law.
Okay, right there. That's right there. Let me talk to Mama
Sarge, don't get to patting yourself on the back, man. Tyrone said the same thing.
Let me talk to Mama Boy right there. Mama Boy, what you said. Hold on, Sarge.
Man.
But he said I didn't say it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna repeat what you said. You said when the president signed a bill, it becomes law.
Right. Even if it's unconstitutional. That's
the part that I was trying to get stuck on. Wait, hold on. It can't be unconstitutional because of the process that got it there. The only way. Okay, can I finish? Well, let me finish saying. It can't be unconstitutional because it's an act of Congress, and Congress got the constitutional authority to go ahead and enact that law. So it becomes unconstitutional upon judicial review. So it's not unconstitutional, just like the Obamacare is not unconstitutional unless it goes through judicial review, which is what Trump was trying to do to get it deemed unconstitutional. The Roe versus Wade was not unconstitutional long as it was an act of Congress. It was legal all those years. It was constitutional all those years until the judges said it wasn't. So that's you can't say even if it's unconstitutional because it's constitutional long as they enact it in the law.
All right. Now, let me ask you a question. Okay. I think we're talking about a distinction without a difference here. But let me ask you a very specific question. Let's say our Congress today passed a law allowing people to resegregate lunch counters. And the president signs it into law after it's been reconciled by the House of Representatives and the Senate. Before any judicial review, would you, Tyrone, say that law is unconstitutional?
Now he's going into feeling.
Okay, because he's talking about feelings, and I will speak.
Specific question that I think deserves an answer.
The segregated lunch counter, if it went through the process, the House of Representatives and the Senate, and it got signed into the law by the president, then that would be constitutional until judicial review.
Okay. All right. Now, I understand your point. So you believe that any law that is passed is inherently constitutional until the review court says it isn't. Well, I don't agree with that.
Because the
I don't agree with that.
Because the Congress
Wait.
I don't think as thinking citizens, we are required to blindingly accept any action by the federal government is being constitutional. We can say, no, this law is unconstitutional, and we intend to oppose it.
Yeah, go ahead.
We don't need judicial review for that.
Go ahead, Howard.
Can I get 30 seconds? Listen, every time that a president signs a bill, it doesn't mean it's constitutional. Those people that put the bill forth may not went by the direct laws of the Constitution. The president will sign it. It becomes a law. It doesn't mean that. I don't know what we're doing. I don't think we're missing things right here. I don't want to say I'm agreeing with Sarge, but bills and laws can be passed that are not constitutional. That is a fact.
Let me speak to Howard. Hold on, Sarge.
I agree with you, Tyrone. Wait a minute. I will agree with you on this. It is the law. It can be enforced absent an injunction by a federal appellate court. So it stands as the law, even an unconstitutional one, until it is deemed to be unconstitutional. Now,
okay, so hold on. Let me speak to Howard. Howard, what makes it constitutional is the powers that those houses hold, right? They have the authority to come up with all this bogus bullshit, lunch counter segregation, right? They have the authority to come up with that. They have the authority to pass it through the Constitution. They have authority to send it to the Senate through the Constitution. The president had the authority to sign it under the Constitution. All of that makes it constitutional. You and I ain't gonna like it, but it is constitutional. We're not gonna like it. True. Okay, wait. Let me finish. I'm not done. I am not done. Let me finish. You and I are not going to like it because it affects us directly, but because they have the power under the Constitution to do exactly what the hell they just did and pass this damn act to turn it into a damn law, then yeah, it's constitutional. Now, what makes it unconstitutional is they go back and do what Jabari just did and said, based on this law and we going to have to roll back this bullshit through judicial process. That's just the way this system works.
No, Tyrone. The process by which it was enacted was constitutional. The process was constitutional. The law itself
I'm not going to argue. I'll let Sarge argue.
The law was inherently unconstitutional. The process that enacted it was constitutional. You got to make the distinction.
Okay, either way. What I'm trying to tell you is embryos are not under the Constitution human beings or citizens, and that's what Alabama did, and that's where this conversation is starting from. Is that Alabama is taking it upon themselves to actually say that in vitro fertilization is breaking the law because of embryo eggs. So I mean, that's just
Yeah, basically, you taking the rights away from humans. Basically, taking the rights away from humans. They didn't ask to be stuck here or whatever, so they outlawing the shit, and that's But that's kind of like it's kind of ass backwards though. That's the way I look at it. I mean, if you protecting the embryo, why aren't you protecting children that are outside of the womb?
And furthermore,
you care that much about kids.
And furthermore, to me, this conversation right here is a health conversation and it's personal. And it should not be on the public debate stage for you and I to be having conversations about what people do with their eggs. That's just too much information. The government is going too far on this one.
Okay. Now, I get what y'all are saying, but back to what Jabbar had said earlier. Jabbar quite correctly pointed out what that U.S. Title 8 says about what is a person entitled to due process.
Mm-hmm.
He accurately described it. However, it's a statute. If you change the wording of a statute, then you change who's entitled to the protection. So again, as we point out, even though such a law would face a very high hurdle in today's environment, if you could muster the votes to amend that law to say that those protections extend to a child in the womb, then that child would be entitled to due process because it's just a statute, not a constitutional amendment.
Okay, the problem is with your wording right now. It's not a child in the womb; it's an embryo.
Well, that's a matter of terminology, I guess.
No, it's not science.
I say since every one of us started out that way, it is. Now you say it isn't.
It's not.
That's what's wrong with the evangelical right now, Tyrone. That's what's wrong with the evangelical.
So,
hey, Tyrone,
I want to be clear. There's no difference between an embryo and a child to you, Sarge?
It's a human being with 46 chromosomes.
I'm asking you a question.
At an early stage of development. That is my response.
That religious right done got to his ass, bro. That religious right.
It's a human being at the earliest stages of development with 46 individual chromosomes. That makes it human.
So there's no difference between an embryo and a human.
You need to make him define that.
In that sense, no. It's no different than a 10-year-old child. In that sense, it's no different than a 10-year-old child.
That's not true because the 10-year-old.
That's my answer.
Okay. Well, the 10-year-old child. Hold on. The 10-year-old child. Wait a minute. Hold on for a second. The 10-year-old child is recognized by the Constitution, where the embryo is not.
Again, the Constitution is kind of silent about embryos. It does say what is protected. It doesn't say what isn't.
It is not silent. Hold on. Wait a minute. It is not silent. That's why we get to
argue about these things before courts.
It is not silent about embryos because the 14th Amendment clearly said all persons born. And born is a process of coming out of the womb.
Absolutely.
I understand that. Okay, I'm not denying that.
It's not
but
silent
you're saying that means it cannot extend to a child in the womb. It can't. Because it's born in.
It can't because a child in the womb is still dependent on the mother. A 10-year-old child is not. The child in the womb is dependent to be fed and everything, so it is not very different.
Hey, I tell you what.
Howard, I got one.
Howard, I will give you the strongest, healthiest, most powerful infant just born. You take that powerful, healthy infant that's just born, put it on the table, and leave it there with no aid for 3 weeks, and come back and tell me.
Okay, hold on. Let me just say this right. Let me say this for the show.
Is that infant still going to be alive after 3 weeks?
Let me say this for the show, and everybody listen. We're not going to get into this morbid talk about dead babies.
Morbid. He raised the issue.
All right, I don't want to do that.
I responded to it.
Okay.
He said that the child is not viable because it relies on the mother through the umbilical cord for its food and its oxygen. Okay, it's born. It's strong. It's healthy. You put it on the table, leave it there for 3 weeks with no care, come back 3 weeks and tell me if that child's still going to be alive.
Okay, but
it's always going to be dependent on the mother.
Why do you have to go there in the first place?
Let Howard say what he was going to say.
See how you got to go that way.
Yeah, I have to go there because he made the point that it relies on his mother. It's going to rely on his mother for years.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm good, bro.
All right,
I'm
but listen,
good. I don't
guys,
have nothing
just
to
for
say.
you guys that's listening, there is stages, you know, conception, and then you got the embryo, and then it turns into a fetus, and then is born. So those stages right there of like, you know, the egg developing and stuff, right, into a child until it's born.
Yes.
So
From a
what they're
zygote to a child.
right, you're absolutely a zygote. That's earlier on. Now, what I'm trying to say is that you're telling us that during the embryo phase, that's even before the fetus phase, that embryo should have citizenship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
That's not a child.
That is what I'm saying because we all start that way. Every single one of us.
So how far back are you going to go?
Again, conception. When the 46 chromosomes intertwine, that's where I start.
Okay,
that makes no sense.
Okay.
Sarge.
Now watch this right here.
Not before that.
Okay, so you're starting at conception, right? So we don't went from.
Let me emphasize when that occurs. Yes.
Hold on. We done went from outlawing Roe versus Wade, which is abortion, right? And now we're into the embryonic stage. And now you're at conception when a man and a woman makes love. What's happening is wait a minute. What's happening is y'all keep going further and further back. And my question is how far back you're going to go.
I'm not going to
let me finish. Let the people hear my question.
Yes, you can.
Let me listen.
How?
Listen,
you're going to go.
Listen, you're going to go. You're going to go into.
An egg isn't a human being.
Okay, wait a minute. You're going to go.
Let Tyrone finish talking, bro. Let Tyrone finish talking.
Yeah, because y'all done stepped it back so much. You're going to go into the womb before conception. You're going to go to the eggs. You're going to go to the male and his sperm, and you're going to say masturbating is illegal.
See, you just did what I said you shouldn't do.
But I did that months ago, and now y'all at the embryo.
I just said a sperm cell or an egg is not a human being.
Sarge, I want you to listen to me clearly.
But until 46 chromosomes come together, you don't have a human being. You can't go back any further than that.
Hold on, let me put you on mute for a second. This is the same conversation, guys, except for it's earlier, months ago when they outlawed Roe, right? I was asking them how far back they were going to go, and I was jokingly saying that they was going to go into the sperm and the egg and the womb of the woman, right? But they're slowly going back further and further and further. So now that they're at the embryo, there's nothing to stop contraceptions like outlawing rubbers and birth control and all of that.
Diaphragms.
Right. So you're going to go into the womb and say that that's illegal too. So you just keep moving it further and further back because the conversation that we was having before, it was about fetuses, right? You came on here with all that graphic detail about fetuses and stuff, and you were saying that was it. Now you're into the embryo stage. That's all I'm pointing out, brother, is y'all just keep pushing it further and further back. Who's this unknown caller?
Tyrone, I cannot and will not speak for everybody. I'm speaking for Sarge. If they go back further than conception, then I will oppose that, okay?
But you accept it.
What did I just say? If they say sperm cells and eggs are human beings, I am going to oppose them.
So what about
I'm as clear as a bell. For me, the dividing line, you can't go any further back.
Well, what about them
trying to the moment of conception?
Wait a minute, hold on. What about contraception then?
How the fuck can a sperm cell be a human being?
I'm not opposed to contraception.
Okay, but listen.
There's no circumstance under which I'm opposed to contraception. None, zero. I am for contraception in all its forms.
But they tried to outlaw contraception based on these same.
Don't put it on me.
Listen to what I'm saying.
He said they. He didn't say you.
Listen, they tried to outlaw contraception based off of this same idea. So whenever you're outlawing contraception, you're outlawing the very thing that I'm talking about, sperms and the eggs, before they even, come together.
I understand that. Some people I think are wrong. Look, this is wrong on both ends of the spectrum. Anybody anybody who says that contraception should be outlawed in any way, and prevent an egg and sperm from combining, you will prevent a human being from existing. There's nothing wrong with that. Egg and sperm are not human
This
beings.
nigga transforming, Tyrone.
I don't think most of
I
us
can't
have any
understand
out there.
shit he's saying.
Yeah, your phone is messing up. But listen, guys, and Joe, I'm going to get you, but I just want to let you know that they did prohibit the sale of birth control in some states at some point in time, and they outlawed these people getting.
No.
Okay, can I finish?
No, they
Okay.
didn't.
They
They want to forbid abortifacients that cause
Okay,
an
let me
abortion.
let Joe. You won't never let me finish. Go ahead, Joe.
Do you know what an abortifacient is?
Yeah, I think you need to get back to the original, how this case originated, and it was a case where, and I'm going from memory because I'm at work, so I don't have a computer in front of me. There was a person that was in the lab that accidentally dropped a bunch of embryos, and it was an issue of, was that murder? Since
Right.
the embryos were no more good once they got dropped, right? So something to keep in mind too, an embryo is not a human being. It still has to be fertilized by being implanted into, the mother. You need the mother. It's called in vitro fertilization. So an embryo only has half of the equation. You still need the other half, which is the fertilization part. So I just wanted to say that real
No,
quick.
you talk about implantation, not fertilization. An embryo occurs post-conception, after the zygote. You're
Man,
wrong
In other
about
words,
that,
you
Joe.
can't grow.
Man,
You can't grow a baby in a test tube. You can't grow a
Sarge.
baby in a
He's
test
wrong.
tube.
He's simply
That's
wrong
growing a person.
factually in what he said.
Sarge, we've all at this stage of our life have heard of the term test tube baby. So we know the way it works. They put it in a culture, and that's where they fertilize the egg. And as soon as they finish fertilizing the egg, they put it in a woman. I mean, that's been the culture for. It's still the same way. It's still the same damn way. It's still called in vitro. It's still called in vitro.
Yeah, I stand corrected. All right, Sarge, are you happy? I stand corrected. The point being, though, it cannot grow unless it's inside a woman. Can't grow.
They still call it the same thing, Joe. They still call it the same thing.
Hey, can I ask Ty a question?
Yeah.
For real. Ty, you there?
Yeah.
What the hell is this dude's argument? Because it sounds like he agreeing with everybody, but agreeing passive aggressively. What is his argument against everybody?
Listen, Howard, try to follow the train of the arguments here. Joe said, now I listened to what he said. That's why I
You
responded.
just did the same thing that Joe you did to Tyrone.
He said that they fertilize eggs in a test tube. And then he said that the egg had to be placed into a woman, in other words, implanted. So the process is fertilization by whatever means, whether it's sexual intercourse or in a test tube. And then once you have the zygote, the fertilized egg, you implant it into the uterine wall. That has to go in that sequence. It can't go the other way. That's why I answered the way I did.
That's fine. Okay, we got that.
It's
We
still
got
called
that.
in vitro fertilization.
Sarge,
Howard, wake up. Listen to the argument.
No one disagrees
Don't
with
put
what you
anything
said.
extra in there.
Lord.
Just want to argue, bro.
I don't just want to argue. I want to clarify.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna let Joe go, but listen, guys, I got hold on, Sarge. I got the definition of IVF on the screen. It's in vitro fertilization is one of several techniques available to help people with fertility problems have a baby. During IVF, an egg is removed from a woman's ovaries and fertilized with sperm in a laboratory. The fertilized egg, called an embryo, is then returned to the woman's womb to grow and develop. So that's where we at with that. And the contraception conversation that I was having, it was Griswold versus Connecticut, and that's on the damn screen. So it ain't like the Supreme Court has already heard this shit. Look like in 1965. It ain't like that they want to go back and look at contraceptive and try to roll that back. And that's when you get into the sperm and all that kind of stuff. Sorry. So It's not like it's out of the window that these people won't do this stuff.
All right. Well, again, like you said, it has to be implanted in the uterine wall, lest you have an ectopic pregnancy, which always results in the danger not only of death for the fetus, but death for the mother. So you have to have an abortion to keep the mother from dying in the case of an ectopic pregnancy.
Well, here's the problem with
in the uterine wall.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with you guys' stance. In vitro fertilization, guys, what I just read is that it's removing an egg, then fertilizing it, therefore creating the start of life, right? These guys are outlawing the start of life. That's what y'all doing. Do you get that?
Well, Tyrone, if I could say this real quick, the fact that a woman is born with all the eggs she's gonna ever have in life. So that's the reason why they freeze them, because women have a cycle each month. You know what I'm saying? So every month there's an egg coming, you know, so they save them. So when they get viable sperm, that's when they implant them. And the only reason why they do that is because a lot of couples have trouble getting pregnant the natural way. So some women have to get their eggs removed, and when the husband is ready, he'll throw a wad and they'll take his sperm and put them together in a culture dish and then put it back in the woman.
Now, let me ask, sorry, we got a problem with what you just said.
Let me finish real quick, Tyrone. The problem in Alabama is that they're telling that woman that her eggs, you know, they people, and you can't fuck with them.
Sorry, do you got a problem with what Mama's boy just described?
No, his description was correct. And by the way, you haven't asked me yet what I think about in vitro fertilization. I am not opposed to in vitro fertilization. So I'm against the law that would forbid it.
Okay, so we
wasn't
agree
the argument about in vitro. It's the argument about when does the egg, the sperm come together, make, and it's a human being. That's what the argument. You damn. Okay, I'm gonna go.
No, hold on, Howard. So hold on, wait, hold on. No, that's not the argument. Okay, so the argument is about law and citizenship, right? And what my perspective on that is based on the Constitution, and the 14th Amendment is give you citizenship when you are born. So none of the stages of embryo, fetus, and that's you're not a citizen there, and you're not a citizen until you're born. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have rights until you come out of the womb. That's what I'm saying.
Obviously, I can't find fault with that argument.
I came a little late. I didn't know if that's what this argument stemmed from.
No, look, I'm not finding fault with Tyrone's argument. He read the Constitution as it is for once, thank goodness. He's correct. I'm not arguing the Constitution. I'm saying I think there is an argument to be made for granting citizenship rights to the person in the womb, and I think it's the person.
That's not a person.
Well, that's what the argument would be about.
Well, you can't say it's a person because science.
That's why I say let's have the argument.
Listen, okay, the science tells you it's not a person. I want everybody to pay attention.
At what point?
Science
what point, Ty, does it become a person?
Once it comes out of the goddamn womb. Look, here. Hold on for 1 second.
How about 10 minutes before it comes out the womb? Is it a person?
It's still a fetus. Hold on for a second.
It's still, okay, see, that's what I mean about you. Now, where do you stop?
Okay, look.
Where do you stop?
Okay, I'm getting ready to show you. Here's the test.
10 minutes later, it's a person.
Shut up and look at the damn screen. Fertilization. 1 week conceptus, 2 week conceptus, 3 week embryo. That's probably when they use the in vitro fertilization. 4 week embryo, 5 week embryo, 6 week embryo, 7 week embryo, 8 week embryo, 9 week fetus. Do you get what I'm saying now? So all of that is not.
So you saying the fetus is a person?
Let me finish. All of that, you're not acknowledged by the Constitution as having rights at no point in this process. I'm sorry. They're cute and everything.
No.
But
well, let me ask the question real quick.
Go ahead.
Try to teach me. So are you saying when it comes to the fetus thing, is that a person? See, I don't know.
I'm not
really
arguing
asking.
whether you're a
I don't
human
know.
or a person or not. That's your argument. My argument is
But
citizenship.
I'm asking. I don't have an argument. I'm asking you
Okay, well,
what is
I
your
mean,
position?
I'm calling it a fetus. I'm calling it an embryo. I'm calling it whatever stage it's at in life. And
Well,
whenever
when
you
the
come
hell
out
is
of
it a person? That's my question.
whenever
When
it
you
comes
I
born.
out,
want your.
I'm trying to tell you, whenever it comes out of the womb, that's when I'm saying you're a human. You're full blown. You ain't
Oh,
got nothing attached to you. You ain't got no drop cords plugged into you or nothing like that. So you free.
so
Now,
you don't believe you don't
Tyrone, you
believe
made
at
it
6
clear.
or 7 months that you are a human in your mama's stomach at 6, 7 months? You don't believe that?
Okay, listen. Now, that's not my conversation. So I don't know why you're asking me that question.
That's the
Well,
question I was asking.
Okay, well
When do you
that's
believe?
your question. I don't. You have to answer that for yourself,
So
sir.
you don't. Well, just say you don't have an answer, and we can
I
move
just
on.
said
I'll
you have
ask
to
Star.
answer it for yourself. My conversation was about citizenship and them enacting these laws, and they
Okay.
enacting
Well, I
these.
missed the
Now,
whole. I missed a lot of the
now,
show. So
Tyrone,
I don't know how
just a
we
few
got here.
moments ago, you got on my argument for saying that I was inviting a slippery slope to where people could make masturbating and having a period a crime. That you just made that. You said that would be a slippery slope because what comes next? Now, let me turn that around on you. You're
You
saying
sure
a
went
person.
awful
Wait a
far,
minute now.
son.
Hold on now. You're saying a person is a baby in the womb coming out in the process of labor, coming out 10 minutes before being in the birth canal, is subject to execution by an abortionist. If you're 10 minutes
I did not say
later,
that.
it's protected. 10 minutes before,
Man,
the
why you
abortionist
add
can
all
go
that
in there
shit?
with a forceps, crush its skull, suck its brains out, and then
God.
pull the corpse
Tyrone,
out of the mother.
Tyrone,
So where is your slippery slope? Wait a minute.
nobody even said that?
Where does your slippery slope stop?
Okay, so I did not say that. I've never said that, and I've never
Okay, well, let me ask you a specific question then. Okay, 10 minutes before delivery, mama changes her mind. I don't want
Well,
this baby.
listen,
The
can I
United
get in here,
States
Yeah,
is
Tyrone?
nigga,
her
Ty.
right to
When
Can I
have
get
that
in here?
baby
Get his
executed.
ass, Star.
Okay,
Can I get in
no.
here?
Let
Can I
me say
get
this
in?
right here. No one has an abortion that late in their pregnancy.
No, that's called
And wait a minute,
infanticide.
hold on, wait. If there was times where people had their abortion that late in the pregnancy, either the mother's life was at risk or the child wasn't viable. That is a fact, and that's what science and
Come on.
that's just what it is.
I don't even think they call it an abortion at that
but
late in
listen, let me
pregnancy. But
finish.
that's just
These
me.
are talking points that the right wing use to shock and try to get people to believe that the left is gruesome when it comes to abortion and all that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, coming from a left perspective, that being that late, having a child, okay, okay, so I got to do this. So having a child that late in your pregnancy and doing those things that Sarge just said is not even a thought of mine. I don't even associate myself with those type of thoughts, because if you're that late in your pregnancy, you're going to have the baby. Everything went fine up until that point, unless the baby is breech or whatever. But no, you can't kill that baby, Sarge. So stop saying that. I don't associate myself with that type of thinking. Okay.
Okay, now let me respond to you since you said that. I got a specific response. You said it doesn't occur. I'm going to give you the most famous case, and if you deny that one, I'm going to give you 10 more. 10. But I'm going to start off with the most famous case that I know of. That is Kermit Gosnell in Philadelphia. He was convicted at trial in court, performing partial birth abortions of children in the process of delivery. He was convicted for it. Hundreds of abortions like that. He's not the only one. I got dozens of other cases that say you say it doesn't happen except to save the life of the mother, which is almost never necessary at that stage of delivery. Almost never. I was testified to in Congress by many obstetricians and gynecologists. They said that almost never occurs at stage delivery. It's necessary to save the life of the mother. There's always a cesarean. So they said that's nonsense. But it does happen. I'm not saying it's even common, but it happens. And that's why I asked you the question, where does your slippery slope end?
Well, what you're talking about when you say partial birth abortions, there's no such thing. What that is called actually is murder, and murder is a crime in this country. So no, there's no partial birth abortion. Um, no, that doesn't happen.
Okay, well, the murder happens then under the guise of calling it a partial birth abortion. Then we're in agreement in that respect. We are in agreement. They call it abortion, but it's murder, and they disguise it as abortion.
All right, so I got to do this, and y'all just gonna have to hold on and bear with this country boy right quick. Here's an NPR article referring to what Sarge is talking about, partial birth or abortion or whatever the fuck. So shut up and don't cut me off. This is NPR. Partial birth abortion separating fact from spin. The Supreme Court decision to consider constitutionality of the Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act has once again pushed the abortion issue into the spotlight. The law, which was signed by President Bush in 2003 after 8-year-long congressional fight, prohibits doctors from knowingly performing partial birth abortions, a procedure it defines as one of its person performing a abortion deliberately, intentionally vaginal delivering a living fetus until and in case of the head first presentation, the entire fetal head is outside of the body of the mother, or in case of breech presentation, any part of the fetal trunk past the navel outside of the body of the mother. But partial birth abortion is not a medical term. It is a political one and highly confusing one, with both sides disagreeing even how many procedures take place at what point of the pregnancy and exactly how the procedure is actually law will ban it. So, to better understand the facts behind the controversy, we asked NPR health correspondent Julie Rover to explain the origin of both the name and the procedure. Where does the term come from? The term first coined by the National Rights to Life Committee in 1995 to describe a recently introduced medical procedure to remove fetuses from the womb, alternately known as dilation and extraction, or DNX, or intact D&E, involves removing the fetus by intact dilating the pregnant mom's cervix by pulling the entire body through the birth canal. After the physician is presented a paper at the conference of the National Abortion Federation describing a new procedure, the NRLC Commission drawing the illustration and drawings to illustrate it, and published the paid advertisement in a newspaper to build opposition. In an interview in New York Republic magazine in 1996, the NRLC Douglas Johnson explained that the term was thought up in hopes as the public learns about partial birthing is they might learn something about the other abortion methods, and that it would foster growing opposition to abortion. In 1995, Representative Charles Cadney included the term as part of a bill and proposed that it would make a federal crime and perform the partial birth abortion. That year, the Ohio state legislature passed the first state ban, and it was struck down by the federal court. The Supreme Court later refused to hear the appeal. Okay, so I ain't gonna read this whole article because it goes on and on and on, but here's the gist of what I'm trying to tell you. It's like what I said. Some instances has the mother's health at risk. Some instances has the baby not viable or life at risk. And they have to do that thing where the head is past the navel or whatever. They have to do it. That's just a medical procedure. But the right used it as a talking point against abortions. And now you got Sarge running around here talking about Democrats kill fucking viable babies. That is just not true, Sarge. I'm sorry, but it's just not true. So you're not going to have
Damn, Sarge. I'm gonna have to get
know.
back on Tyrone's side now, Sarge. He just pulled out great information.
We
I'm
don't kill babies in this country.
Side.
Nobody kills a baby. I mean, come on, left or right. Stop it.
Damn, Sarge. He brought out sources and everything. I'm gonna have to jump back on Tyrone's side. Damn it, Sarge.
I mean, listen, we all have medical emergencies. And when people get pregnant in this country, yes, we have beautiful babies, and some are born with 10 fingers and 10 toes, 2 eyes, but some are not. So you got to look at chemistry, guys. Sometimes things happen, the organs are messed up or whatever. It's a sad conversation, but these people, the sickness behind what they're doing is they're taking a serious medical problem and they're making it political. And he wants to come on here and talk to me about these medical conditions that, it's just private to people, personal, and it should not be discussed in this form, I don't think. That's just my opinion. Where did he go? He went to go pick up some more talking points. I guess he on foxnews.com Googling.
No, actually, I forgot I have stuff on mute because, I don't want you to accuse me of just spouting off in the middle of your soliloquy there.
Go ahead.
But look here. Now, are you familiar with the Born Alive Infants Protection Act, which Barack Obama voted against twice and was passed in 2002, and which is still the law of the land? It's federal law. You know what it says?
Okay,
it was enacted August 5th, 2002. It affirms legal protection to an infant born alive after a failed attempt at an induced abortion. So if that fetus is 5 months in gestation, 5 months gestated, as you call it, fetus, I call it a child, and that child is, for whatever reason, doc fails in an attempt to kill it, saline solution, whatever, the mother has a spontaneous miscarriage, expels the baby from down her birth canal, and it's still alive, even if it's only 5 months old. Doctors are required to make attempts to save that child's life, because at that point, it's a child under this law. And the same thing goes for partial birth abortion, yes, what I'm going to call it, that they botch, and for whatever reason, the kid gets out. Its head gets out before the butcher can kill it. And it also applies to that, too.
Okay. Butcher?
So now I just gave you a fact about what the Born Alive Infant Protection Act passed in August of 2002 protects. It's federal law.
Which establishes every infant.
Well, you swung back on your ass, Ty.
I always respond to him. I don't ignore him. When he says something, I respond to him. If he's right, I agree.
There's more.
He was right a couple times tonight. I agree with him. I didn't argue about it.
There's more to what Sarge is saying than this.
Okay, read the act then, because I'm looking at the law, and I'm gonna read requisite statutes from you if you doubt me. It's clear what it says. If that baby is expelled from the womb and is breathing, even if it's hard to keep it alive, those doctors are required to use normal efforts at resuscitation.
I don't agree. I don't disagree with the act. I don't disagree with the whole principle behind it. But the concept that you saying that there's butchers out there waiting to kill that baby is just bullshit. This is just
no. You didn't hear what I said. Let me finish. You didn't hear what I said.
Oh, geez.
You didn't hear what I said. I said a doctor with the intent to perform a late-term abortion. Let's not call it partial birth abortion, since you don't like that term. Let's say a late-term abortion. Say 7 months, or 7.5 months, or 6.5 months. All right.
That's illegal. That's illegal. Don't let him say that.
Let me finish. The intention is to abort the child, and for whatever reason, it fails, and that baby slips out alive. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? The Born Alive Infants Protection Act protects that child.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is the Born Alive Infant Protection kind of goes in line with what I was saying. If a baby is coming out of the stomach, then you're not going to kill it. So that's added protection for that child. But what I'm trying to tell you is you're not giving me the background. So I need to find out the background behind
Well,
this.
I did give you the background. It said late-term abortion, 6 months. That's a late-term abortion. 7 months. That's a late-term abortion. If that abortion is botched, and for whatever reason, because it happens, it has happened, the child is born alive despite the efforts of the butcher to kill it.
Okay, what I'm saying,
And
you're
that's
not giving.
this law is intended to protect those children.
Okay, so hold on. If you stop cutting me off, you're not giving me the background as far as how this act.
Okay, I'll give you the background.
Okay,
I'll
no,
give you
I
the
don't want
background.
you to. Shut up.
Oh, now you don't want me to give the background.
No.
I'm not giving it to you. Now you don't want. Okay, whatever, Tyrone. Whatever.
Okay, yeah, whatever. So let me finish with what I'm saying.
I won't give you the background.
Listen,
You don't want it, but you want it.
Okay, I don't have the background on how this.
I do.
Okay, can you shut up? I don't have the background on how this act came into existence. And the reason that I'm saying that is because we just got finished talking about embryos in Alabama, and Mama's boy shared, or Joe shared with us, that there was a spilled container of embryos. And other legislation comes into existence because of political movements. You've got the Anti-Abortion Act out here that probably was lobbying to have some legislation like this put on the books just for whatever reason. We don't know. So you can't say that they was killing babies halfway out of the womb. Therefore, this act came into existence. We don't know, because I'm reading the wiki page. It don't give. Wait a minute. Here's Dobbs versus Jackson Women Health Organization. So let me read that. Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
He caught you lying again, Sarge. He done caught you slipping in the street.
Oh, he ain't got nothing. I'm about to give him. I'm about to give him the background for the act. It was done as a result of congressional testimony under oath by doctors, abortion survivors, and the others. That was the background to getting the bill passed. Congressional hearings.
Well, I just want to say to my brother Tyrone before you read this, I love the state of Illinois. They doing what they do.
They kicked Donald Trump off the ballot, didn't they?
Oh, you got to change the subject now. You got to change the subject, man. Okay, go ahead, change the subject.
No, I didn't want to say that before Tyrone was looking up something.
Let's talk about that.
It was dead air. It was dead air. Tyrone was looking up something. I just want to say, I love the state of Illinois.
No, Howard, let's talk about it. Go ahead, make your best shot. Take your best shot. And I'm
before Howard say that, I just want to say, wait a minute, hold on.
Howard.
Before Howard say that, I just want to say, Sarge, you lived in 2 states that one is fucking goddamn got him on a RICO charge, and the other one kicked him off the goddamn ballot, Sarge.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, because a county judge on their own authority could just ignore Section 5 of the 14th Amendment and execute it on their own. She ain't Congress. She didn't pass the Insurrection Act or the punishment or the elements of the offense.
You don't need Congress according to the Constitution. You don't need Congress according to the Constitution.
Unilaterally to kick somebody off a ballot.
Yeah. According to the Constitution,
whatever.
Yes.
Okay, whatever.
According to the Constitution, as it is written,
when they get slapped down, you're going to see why they're absurd.
Lord.
Well, who removed? Was it the Secretary of State?
Go to court and do it.
Was it a judge? Who removed
it? Was a judge.
Read Section 5 of the 14th Amendment. That should settle it.
You notice how when you bring up this shit, his octave go up about damn.
Yeah, again, look, like I said, read section. You stop at Section 3 and you don't read all the way to Section 5. It makes it clear who has the authority to determine what an insurrection is and what the punishment for it is. It's the Congress.
No, sir.
Not
that is not the case.
But listen, a real easy question, Sarge. Now this is just a real simple question. These states, listen to what I'm saying, brother. These states that are removing this candidate from the ballot, right? Obviously, there's something going on because one state after another one has attempted to remove this candidate for some type of disqualification. Don't you think that candidate is flawed because these states are doing that?
No, I think it's lawfare, nothing more, nothing less. I have no respect for it whatsoever. None. You can have all the respect for it you want to. I don't. And you're not going to tell me I should.
Well, you live there.
But it's Republicans that are making a case for it. So how is it lawfare?
I don't care who it is. keep bringing up Republicans like it's supposed to mean something to me. I care about the Constitution.
No,
and the rule of
I'm not.
law.
I don't keep bringing it up.
I don't care about
Yeah,
political
but
parties
according
anywhere
to
near as much.
according to the country's leading constitutionalists, it is within the rights to do that.
What leading
Now, if you have a separate
constitutionalist is
argument,
that? That's been successful
yeah,
before the Supreme Court.
yeah,
Give
Judge
me one.
Liddick has written numerous papers about this, and a
Has
number
he
of
ever gone
leading
before the
federal
Supreme Court
society
and won a
judges.
case?
Yeah.
Because there
Judge
is no
Liddick?
constitutional scholar, and
He's
I've
a
been
judge.
looking at them. Maybe you've got one that I haven't seen yet, but every single scholar I said that says Trump can be banned on the actions of one person in a state has never won a case before the Supreme Court. The ones who say that he can't be treated in this manner have all argued and won cases successfully before the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but on another note, I had said in the chat earlier, and I'll say it again. I think you should bid on Trump's gold toilet because the Trump Tower is
All right,
about
I'm
to
through
be
with you,
sold,
man. I'm through with
and
you.
that way,
You're full of shit.
you
You're the
can
one that
release
needs to
your
go to the
cricket
toilet
every night.
because you're full of shit. You're not arguing the issue. You're spitting bullshit again.
What's up?
You don't have a
Joey's
No, I'm
bringing
not.
up a
Trump
good.
Tower's about to be sold, brother.
Yeah,
You
Joey's
don't
bringing up
have
a good point,
response.
Sarge.
That's why.
He
You
can't
don't
make
have
it.
anything to respond to except reductio ad absurdum. Bullshit.
No, but listen, brother.
Yeah.
He's unable to make
And
his
I'm
bond.
enjoying it, Sarge.
He's unable to make his bond, so he's
man,
gonna.
enjoy it. Yeah, keep enjoying it.
He's unable to make his
All
bond.
of your
So
little petty tyrants, all your little petty tyrants.
Nobody
at the
will
state
bond
level
the guy.
Are all going to be shot
No
down.
one will
You
bond
saw
the
what
guy.
The questioning was at the Supreme Court.
No
when this went
one
before the Supreme
will
Court.
bond the
They
guy.
it looks like it's going to be an
He
8-1
can't
or
take
a
it to the
9-0
Supreme Court.
decision.
okay, but listen,
He
he's
cannot
unable to
appeal
make
it
his
because he
bond
can't
in New
put up the
York.
bond.
He's unable to make his bond in New York. He's gonna have to start selling stuff. Don't you think so?
Oh, and I got to change the subject again.
That's what the hell we were just talking
Okay,
about.
so let's talk about that then.
So he's unable to make his bond. So they're gonna have to start
How do
seizing
you know he's
property
going to be on mixed bond? They rejected it
because
when he
the deadline
proffered.
the deadline passed.
Wait a minute.
Bro.
They
The
rejected what he proffered.
Listen, the deadline passed to pay his bond, Sarge.
It has not
He
passed
proffered 20 cents on the dollar.
It was
He
yesterday.
proffered 20 cents on the
they
dollar,
rejected
Sarge.
it. That doesn't mean he's not going to come up with the money.
It was yesterday.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You got to pay the whole thing plus
they
interest.
rejected his
You can't proffer
He
to
still
the court.
has time
You
to get
cannot
it in the
proffer
box.
to the court.
Hey,
in 3
Mama's
weeks.
boy.
You can't proffer.
I'm not
Remember the
denying
song,
they rejected his
Mama's
proffer.
boy. You remember the song White Lies? Coat lies. That's what stars do.
You act like I'm not observing that the court did not accept his proffer. That doesn't mean he hasn't got it
Sarge,
in a
You
bond
can't
yet.
proffer. You cannot proffer to a judgment.
Okay, so we asked and answered. Let's move on. Does that mean
Yeah.
he's not going to
So
get the
why do
money
you
up
say
in order
they
to make the
rejected his
appeal
proffer?
bond?
You can't
Are you
proffer
saying
to a
that he
judgment.
won't be able to make the appeal bond? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and here's why.
Yes.
Now,
Okay,
He
shut
won't
up.
be able to
Hold
make-
on, hold on. I want to answer
We
Sarge's
shall
question.
see then.
Wait a minute. Here's why he's not going to be able to make the damn bond. Hold on for 1 second. It says, right here. Instead of paying the bond, he offered $100 million instead of the $454 million because he don't have the $450 million. This is Bloomberg telling you that Trump don't have the goddamn money. That's what I'm trying to say. He only offered.
They say he hasn't made a bond yet. That's all they said.
He offered only $100 million.
They didn't say he doesn't have the money.
If he had the
They
money,
said, they said that his proffer was rejected. That is true.
Okay, well, you ain't listening to shit I just said.
Man, that's why I don't know what's with your comprehensive reading skill. You don't seem to have
This
any.
article is.
I mean, you say, "Oh, I want it to come out this way, so I'll read it as though it said that." It's not what it said.
Let's see. This is USA Today. Maybe it'll tell it.
Yeah.
It said,
let's see
okay,
what they
right
say.
here it is right here, guys. Look at it. It's on the internet. Unable to cover the full amount, Donald Trump offers to post $100 million to appeal the $450 million fraud judgment. So he don't have the goddamn money. Do you see that?
It means that they didn't accept his $100 million proffer.
Because
Doesn't mean he doesn't have the money. Maybe he doesn't, but that doesn't say he doesn't. What you just read, it might be true, but that's not the way you can read it from what the bare bones of what you read says.
Okay, so if you stop cutting me
Oh,
off.
I mean, look, if he can get away with paying $100 million bond, why would he want to pay $450 million?
Okay, guys, listen. Because this bond, and Sarge, I got you on mute, so hold on. Because this bond is $450 million, it was not even offered to Donald Trump to pay anything less than that amount. Donald Trump, in order for him to pay his bond, had to pay this amount. The $100 million come from Donald Trump pulling it out of his ass and not having the $400 million. It says Donald Trump proposed on Wednesday to pay $100 million bond while appealing on what he called an exorbitant punitive $450 million fraud judgment in New York. A New York judge on February 16 ordered the former president to pay his namesake company to pay the government for ill-gotten gains for overstating the value of his real estate. The verdict also barred Trump from doing business in New York for 3 years, which included barring from New York-based banks. While Trump appealed the judgment, he is asking to postpone paying the full amount because he would have trouble posting the entire amount. Right there, once again, Trump don't have the goddamn money because it says he would have problems paying the entire amount. The exorbitant punitive amount of the judgment, coupled with the unlawful and unconstitutional blanket prohibition on lending transaction, would make it impossible to secure and post a complete bond. This is what Trump's lawyer said. Once again, that quote says that he don't have the fucking money. Trump's lawyer, Clifford Robert and Alina Hobbit, wrote, appellant nonetheless plans to secure and post a bond in the amount of $100 million. That is not what he's supposed to pay. He's supposed to pay the $450 million. James opposed to the request on Wednesday by arguing Trump is unlikely to prevail in his appeal. She argued the full bond is required precisely because of his insufficient cash and needs to raise capital. There is no merit to the defendant's contention that a full bond or deposit is unnecessary because they are willing to post a partial undertaking of less than the quarter of the judgment. James wrote, the defendants all but concede that Mr. Trump has insufficient liquid assets to satisfy the judgment defendants would need to raise the capital to do so. So just what I'm trying to telling you right now is he don't have the goddamn money, which is why Alina Hobbit and that other lawyer only offered $100 million. And they're saying that that's not what the judge told you to do. The judge told you to pay this full goddamn 50, and you coming up here talking about 100. Bitch, get out my face. That's what the hell they saying, Sarge. Goddamn.
Okay, once again, Tyrone, you failed to listen to what I say. It's typical, always do it. I said they rejected his proffer. I'm not arguing with you. They are not going to allow him to put up collateral equivalent to the amount of cash. They want cash so they can break him, and so a little Bolshevik commissar with a little Marxist puppy lawyer can seize his assets like the good little communists that they are. That's what this is all about. You know it. I know it. But we're going to see how this all shakes out in the end when this goes up the appellate court, because it's not just the money. It's an unprecedented amount of money given New York case law and New York precedent. Nothing like this has ever been seen in the state of New York, ever, with no victim and no damages. So look, if you're applauding what these little Bolsheviks and commissars do, then you be my guest. But I'm not. And most of the
defendant doesn't negotiate a proffer. That comes from the other side.
Yeah, I know what it says. I know what time it is.
Rejected the appeal.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I know what time
you can't appeal unless you put up the money. You can't appeal unless you put up the money.
What did I just say? She's going to try to seize his assets if he doesn't put it up.
There's no going. There's no going. In fact, look, hold on. She's not seizing his assets. The state of New York is. Let's get real about this.
Bullshit.
Stop with the political bullshit. It does not go to her department. She has nothing to do with it. At this point, it doesn't matter. At this point, it has nothing to do with her. It is the state of New York that's going to do it. This is the law in New York.
She campaigned on getting it. She should have been disbarred.
Stop with the politics, Sarge.
Stop
'Cause
with
we
you
all see
acting
through that
like what I say is the
She
truth.
does not gain anything from this.
Yes, she does.
Nothing.
She thinks she's going to
Except
ride
a
this
win
into
in
the
court.
governor's mansion.
Yeah,
what
okay,
she
that's
gets
your
out of it.
speculation. There's no
Well,
evidence
speaking
to
And
show
it's
that.
pretty
Your
informed
speculation.
speculation, too, given what that damn bitch was doing on the campaign trail.
So hold on for a minute.
Damn right it's informed speculation.
Listen.
Yeah.
There is Letitia James didn't do nothing wrong by calling out Donald Trump and all that kind of stuff, especially when Donald Trump is calling her Peekaboo James. Get the fuck out of here. The hell wrong with you?
I'll call it that if he doesn't.
Who's this unknown caller? Who's this? Hello? Okay, somebody, I just opened your line.
Yeah, I want to be clear about something too, Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
To these local yokels in Georgia, New York City, and New York State has some of the finest financial lawyers because of the amount of financial businesses that are here. They prosecute cases like this all the fucking time. This just happens to be a big one, but they prosecute cases like this every fucking day. So I don't know why these guys are like, oh, this is unheard of. No, not here. It happens all the time.
No,
New York has some of the best, financial lawyers.
No,
Again, the size of the case is different, but the type of the case is not. Let's be clear about this,
New York
Sarge.
has conducted thousands of fraud cases. They have never conducted a case with this amount of damages where there were no discernible damages to any of the parties involved. Never,
Okay.
It doesn't make it legal.
Well, that's what I was Googling.
It doesn't make it legal.
I've looked, the AP did a study of cases going back to 1900,
here we go.
and they
Blah,
adjusted
blah,
it for
blah, blah.
inflation. And
Blah,
they
blah,
said
blah, blah,
the AP that
blah,
doesn't
blah,
like
blah,
Donald Trump said
blah,
they
blah,
have
blah,
never
blah.
seen anything like this.
But get this, though.
Okay, so that's what I was just Googling.
At the end of the day, all this fucking yelling is irrelevant. Here's the deal. At the end of the day, he had his chance. He had his chance to prove his innocence. He had his chance to prove his innocence, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He had his chance.
Okay, so
And
hold
he
on
blew
for a
it.
second. Let me try to squash this whole victim thing. Listen, and here's the article that speaks about it. And the reason that it's bullshit is because the way Judge Enron put it is you didn't need no victims if there was wrongdoing. The banks did get paid back. They weren't victims because they were victims because they was overestimates and underestimates.
They did their own due diligence and their victims.
I really wish you would shut up while
That was in the contract.
Can I fucking explain it? They were victims, but they got paid back their damn money. The reason that they was victim because they got overestimates and underestimates at the manipulation of Donald Trump, but they did get paid back their money. So their argument is that there was no victims, and down here, what does it say? But the appeals court would ask the bond that it's fraction judgment because there was a lack of traditional victims in a fraud case, and then Trump cites the worthless clause to acknowledge the uncertain property value. Trump contends that the case had no victims because the banks got repaid with interest. Trump's lawyer argued James targeted him for a victimless offense, and then it goes on down here to say that Trump vowed to appeal the deadline will go 30 days from when Enron formally entered the judgment, which hadn't happened Wednesday. Trump contends that the case had no victims. Hold on. There's no evidence, no proof that any of the terms would have been different. Trump's lawyer, Christopher Kyle, told Enron, there is no real world impact. This is them arguing that there is no victim. Also, 100% disclaimer clause, no fault, no victim, no complaint. It's going to say it. James argued, and Enron ruled that the statute doesn't require victims, only wrongdoings. Now, we can sit up here and listen to Sarge about them not being goddamn victims, or you can listen to the judge using his guidelines of wrongdoing and what Donald Trump did wrong to find out that Donald Trump do owe that goddamn money. There wasn't no victims were required, only wrong goddamn doing. James argued that Enron ruled that the statute doesn't require victims, only wrongdoing. So there we have it. The timely and total payment of loans does not extinguish the harm that false statements inflict on the marketplace. There we go again. There's a reason. Because he deflated and inflated fucking property and loans and all that kind of bullshit, it caused harms to the marketplace. Enron wrote in a decision, indeed, the common excuse that everybody does it is all the more reason to strive for honesty and transparency, to be vigilant in enforcing the rules. Now, you can sit up here and argue about this victimless bullshit all you want to, but the judge in this decision, the one that's telling Trump he got to pay the fucking $300 million, telling you that there didn't need to be a goddamn victim. The records that Trump kept, because he kept 3 books, one for his goddamn IRS, one for his accountant, and one for all the other bullshit. The fact that he had 3 sets of financial goddamn books showed you that he was doing wrongdoing and fucking fudging the goddamn books. So that whole there's no victim bullshit, Sarge, shut the fuck up with that. Good Lord. Read.
All right, let me tell you something, Tyrone. I heard what you said, and I'm going to respond because I don't ignore your bullshit. I come back and tell you case point by point why you're full of shit.
Okay.
And here's why. Because the New York State Supreme Court, and it hasn't got to that point yet, right? We got a judge who Letitia James said had determined his guilt before the trial. Let's not forget that. That's what she said publicly. I got the video. I'll play it for you one here. She said before the trial started, Judge Enderon had determined that he was guilty. That's one thing. Number 2, the New York Supreme Court has ruled that fraud constitutes damages, discernible, identifiable damages. That's the New York State Supreme Court. Remember, it hasn't gotten that high yet. They've already ruled that as a common law precedent. There was none in this case. And again, that is the standard for fraud. It is entirely possible that this law he's using, since it's never been applied in this manner before, has been unconstitutionally applied according to the Constitution of the state of New York. To say nothing of what it might be when it gets to federal court involving the 8th Amendment. So,
okay.
and one more thing, Letitia James, now, if she seizes his assets, she's going to have to go to the court with the statement of what his properties are worth. She's going to have to put a real value on those properties, not some fucking tax assessment. She has to put a real value on it. And if they total more than what she said in court to convict him, then as far as anybody who's got a reasonable mind goes, that whole goddamn case crumbles in the dust.
Okay, listen, guys, a grand jury got Donald Trump into that courtroom, and a decision was made that he was liable before he sat before Enron and came up with the dollars amount. So it's not only Enron making this goddamn decision. They are using New York statutes and laws to see that this victimless bullshit is just bullshit. As long as they can prove, because the dude went to jail, Donald Trump's accountant went to jail for this same shit. Obviously, there was something goddamn wrong in his bookkeeping because he sent somebody to goddamn jail for it. So if he working for goddamn Donald Trump, for Donald Trump's company, and he went to jail doing illegal shit, the rest of the goddamn company is doing illegal shit. And to add to that, we see Donald Trump committing fraud on a fucking decade basis. So we know Donald Trump fucking escalated his values and all that kind of. Sarge, I don't know what the fuck you're arguing, man. But now I'm looking for New York statutes.
Even more than that.
I'm looking for New York statutes so I can fucking shut you the fuck up. Good Lord. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, even more than that, Letitia James is out of it now. They have a special master that's going to determine the value of the property, not Letitia James. See, this is why this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, right? You know, he's sitting there reading Fox News and Newsmax and all that. They don't know either. At the end of the day, he was found guilty. He had every chance to plead his case before a jury. He had every chance to bring witnesses, and the witnesses he brought fucked him over. They didn't even support him. They supported the prosecution.
Oh, yeah.
So all this is bluster, man. All this is hot air and entertainment value. This is kabuki theater at its finest. Sarge, you could flap your gums all day and night. It's done, baby. He's over. I would suggest you put a bid in for his gold toilet so you can release your Kraken every night after you drink your prune juice, brother.
And that's another point that Joe brought up, is that we didn't hear about the witnesses that testified against Donald Trump, including his children. So all of those people in this trial proved that Donald Trump committed this goddamn fraud, and that's why he wound up with this judgment. All that dumb shit that Sarge talking about, I don't know where the fuck he's getting it from, because these witnesses and all this shit went on for a little while, guys, and they had witness after witness, deposition after deposition, and these people proved that this man is fucking guilty of what the fuck he's getting charged with. And now he's trying to skip out on paying his damn money. He gonna wind up getting his houses took and all that kind of bullshit. That's what's gonna happen. And it's gonna be beautiful to watch. Especially if he win the presidency. And if he win the presidency, right? Let's just say he won the presidency and Letitia James in New York was still doing what they was doing. There ain't a goddamn thing that he can do about it. Not a motherfucking thing. So we could watch a president fucking get his shit seized. I wouldn't want to see that, but I mean, that would be a scenario.
Yeah, he keeps focused on Letitia James. She's just a prosecutor. This is out of her hands now. She doesn't benefit from it, except maybe she won a case. There's nothing for her. She's not getting any of this money. You know, they have other people that are tasked to do this. Like, so they have a special master that's monitoring these business right now. And so she's writing briefs about what she's seen going on in this business. So it's up to her to make the determination. Not Letitia James. She's out of it. She's out of it.
There's
all
nobody,
of that stuff he's talking about is political theater.
I don't think nobody can reverse this decision. I know he got a right to appeal, but I don't think this decision can be reversed. Not with all that damn evidence.
You can't appeal unless you put up the whole bond.
Well, that too.
You can't appeal unless you put up the whole bond. That's what I'm saying. He's fucked.
So, Sarge, why are you defending this?
Right,
we're watching it. Why are you defending it, Sarge?
All right, one more time. Again, the Supreme Court has already said what constitutes fraud. Number two, you can say there's a special master evaluating his real estate. What if it doesn't agree with what she put up as its value in court? Or have they colluded to make an agreement on it? I mean, you've seen the love corrupt practices so damn much. That sounds to me like what you're implying. That they are colluded on what that property was. If they already know what the property is worth, because Letitia James told the court what it was worth. Oh, by the way, without a jury, let me keep reminding you that there was no jury. Therefore, there shouldn't be any discrepancy between the special master and Letitia James. Now, what if they don't concur? What if the special master evaluates his property far higher than what Letitia James says it's worth? I guess you didn't think that through, eh?
Sorry, the case is over with,
But
though. You're trying to try the case.
Is corrupt. No, this whole thing is corrupt. You know it. I know it. The American people know it.
Properties are put up for auction.
That is why his popularity soared after they started doing all this shit.
Okay, but listen, brother.
It's bullshit. You guys love it because you love tyrants. We don't.
Listen, you're trying to retry the case. The case is over with. There's a decision.
No, it isn't. Ain't nothing over to the fat lady thing. Okay, and I ain't seen Letitia James singing lately.
Okay, well, the issues that you just brought up is not going to get retried. It just isn't.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
It's not. It's over with.
You said Fannie Willis wasn't going to have an evidentiary hearing either. That's what you said. It's not going to happen. I told you it was going to happen.
In order to appeal, he has to put up the whole bond. In order to appeal, he has to put up the bond.
I understand that. I'm not arguing with you about that. How many times I got to say it? Already done.
He has 3 weeks to do it.
What I am telling you is I have already even conceded that she is likely to seize his assets. She said so. So, I mean, if he doesn't put up the form about this,
let me say this again for the people in the cheap seats.
Is going to seize his property,
seizing anything.
And then she's going to redistribute his wealth.
He is not seizing anything. The state of New York
and
now.
You like it.
The state of New York does it. She has nothing to do with it. She's out of it.
I mean, I don't want to hear it. I know better, and the American people know better too. That's why his popularity keeps going up. They don't like it either.
Well, his popularity.
Maybe she'll piss on his grave. She'll dance on his grave and piss on it, maybe. But it's out of our hands now. The state takes over.
I'm surprised that cow didn't do it in the courtroom.
Oh, she's a cow now.
Yeah, I saw.
You know, personally, I would have, if I was her,
like some kind of
if I was her, I would have looked in the camera and said,
I
"Peekaboo,
watched her
Donald."
sit up there. I watched her on the campaign trail. I watched her get up there and tell the American people how she proudly walked into an abortion clinic, a Planned Parenthood clinic, no less, and killed her baby. She's shameless.
Oh yeah, by herself, killed a baby. Right? Yeah, you hear this, Tyrone? You hear this? It gets wilder and wilder every time.
I'll let you hear what she said. And you make up your own mind, but I know what you'll do. You'll ignore it because you like this kind of corruption. She said,
"Oh, I love it,
Planned
Sarge.
Parenthood,
Ooh, it just gets me all nipply,
founded
Sarge."
by a white racist eugenicist who thought black people were like weeds that needed to be exterminated. She was the founder of Planned Parenthood, and she said to the public of New York when she was on the campaign trail that she proudly walked into a Planned Parenthood clinic to have her baby exterminated.
You know what though? You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to do like you guys do. Oh, she was just kidding, Sarge. She was just kidding. She wasn't serious.
That's even worse. That's even
She was
worse.
just kidding.
Yeah, that was locker room talk.
That's even worse. That's even worse. She might have been.
That was locker room
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
hear? I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Let me play it.
It stings like a motherfucker when the shoe's on the other foot, don't it? It stings like hell.
You listen to
No,
her,
let's
and you
play the audio of Donald Trump saying that. Let's play audio of Donald Trump saying he would let an allied nation get attacked by Russia.
What is it, Joe?
Let's play that audio, and then you tell me that he's just kidding.
Are you going to let Sarge distort what she said? Why don't we listen to the woman?
No, but hey, Tyrone, we'll listen to her, but cue up
All right,
Donald Trump saying that he would let Putin attack a fellow NATO country. Cue that up.
And you'll say I'm making something up.
Yeah. Cue it up so we can go toe to toe on this.
Is it okay with you?
I don't care, but that was locker room talk.
All right, well, I'm going to play it then. Yeah, locker room talk. Yeah, killing your baby, that's locker room talk.
Yeah, cue up the grab him by the pussy audio too, because we're going to play that again next. And then let's start saying, oh, he was just kidding.
Here it goes. Quiet. Quiet. Locker room talk. Here it comes.
I don't hear a damn thing.
Yeah, we can't hear that, man.
I did hear the show again, though.
Let's try that again.
Yeah, we can't hear it, man.
All right, okay, what you got to do.
Man, you got a tea kettle or something in your house or something?
Everybody's got to stop talking for a minute so it doesn't feed back. And then when I play it, you'll be able to hear it. That goes for me, that goes for you. So you can hear it.
And all of a sudden he was flush with
I can't hear that, man.
The quickest way from a billion points of data.
There's your proud attorney general bragging about killing her baby. She's proud of it.
Is it
I
that she
didn't hear a
telling? Wait a
damn
minute,
thing.
hold
I
on. Let
couldn't
me ask
hear
you
it.
this.
couldn't-
Wait a minute.
I
Is
couldn't
it
hear
is
it.
it
God
where she
values
telling?
privacy over the lives of children.
Is it where
I
she
couldn't
telling
hear it.
people she was proud of having an abortion? Is that what you was saying?
She said, let me say again what she said. She said, I chose to have an abortion, and I walked proudly into a Planned Parenthood clinic.
Oh.
That's what she said.
Oh, that ain't shit. What you mean?
Okay, well then that says more about you
It's
than
called
even does
pro-choice.
about her.
Yeah, that's called pro-choice. But at the end of the day,
All right, well,
did she
yeah.
grab anybody
I
by
don't
the
know many
pussy,
women though
Sarge?
that brag about it.
Yeah, did
They might
she
be
grab
pro-choice,
anybody by the
but
pussy?
you know they like to kind of keep
I'm
it
just
personal,
curious, you know.
or at least be a little bit contrite about killing their child. Not this wench. She's proud of it.
Like I said, did she
Well,
grab anybody by the pussy by
Whatever.
any chance?
Yeah,
hey,
whatever.
can I provide a scenario that might work with her attitude, sir? I mean, you so I mean you out the window.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
okay. All right.
You're
Hold
Now
on
see.
for a minute, cause I think I got Sarge's audio here, so I'm gonna play it for him. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Let me see, cause I think this is the one, and you let me know if it's the one. So, I just found it. I think this is what you're talking about.
As a former city council member many moons ago, I came to this issue in a very personal way. I was in this place. I was just elected, and I was faced with the decision whether to have an abortion or not. And I chose to have an abortion. I walked proudly into Planned Parenthood. And I make no apologies to anyone. To no one. And all of you also know that I am a woman of faith. I go to church. But my God teaches me all about love and acceptance. And my God teaches me about privacy. And my God says that you've got to make the best decision for your body and your life.
Was that it? Is that what you all up in arms about? Was that
That
it, sir?
is exactly what I said. And in what detail does that differ than what I said she said?
Nothing. I was trying
Well,
to figure out what the hell is your
nobody said
problem.
anything about it. Nobody
That
said
wasn't
you said
true,
anything.
other than my characterization of what she said. Was anything I said about what she said inaccurate?
I'm asking you, what's
But
your issue with what the fuck she's saying? God
right.
Because
damn.
she is hubristic about killing her child. There's no contrition, not even a hint of regret.
No, you
She's
mischaracterizing
inhuman.
what she
She's
said.
probably a
I think
sociopath.
he mischaracterized. I think he mischaracterizing
You
it an awful
mischaracterized.
lot, Tyrone.
She's passionate about women's health. That's what you hear.
She's
Well,
probably a
Tyrone, hold on.
sociopath.
Hold
like
on,
most
Tyrone.
lesbians are.
Let me in here. So, Sarge, with her, I guess your description, enthusiasm. Let's just put a scenario on the table, a plausible scenario. That what if she met a man, thought she was gonna get married, fall in love, and she gets pregnant, and then finds out that he's a woman beater and he beat kids too. And she makes the decision to not have that baby and no longer be with that man. And she can sound pretty enthused talking like that if that's the scenario. If that's the scenario. And it's plausible. I'm not saying it's what happened. But if I could come up with a plausible situation that describes her enthusiasm, I'm pretty sure her real life situation is the reason why she sounds, because maybe it was something that she's not mentioning, right? That caused her to have that abortion. because it's probably none of your fucking business, you know. So you still feel like she's a dirty dog if she found a dude maybe similar to yourself, but found out he's no longer Mr. Nice Guy. He's no longer Sarge. Now he beat his mama. He beat his sister. He beat up his last 2 girlfriends and put the last one in the hospital. Nah, I'm not fucking with this nigga and having his child. Fuck that. So I don't disagree with the woman. You could.
Yeah, mama's boy. Let me give you a scenario. Let me give you a scenario. You're dating a man.
Question.
Yeah.
I'd like to answer him. I'm willing to concede there's an entire range of context of which I am unaware. There could be any number of scenarios of which she did not mention, and I cannot know. The only thing I can go on is not the unseen, but the seen. And I saw and heard what she said. And what she said indicated no regret whatsoever for the human life that she terminated. Not an ounce of it, not a bit, not a scintilla, not an iota. And given that reality, not knowing anything else, I'm going with that.
Okay, so she didn't terminate her human life. It was an embryo. So
for Christ's sake, what do you know? What do you know? What stage? She didn't say what stage she had the abortion, and it doesn't matter. It's still a human life.
We know it wasn't out of the womb. So come on now.
We know that, but you just said something you don't know either.
Well, yeah, I do. I know that abortions are.
Tell us. How do you know?
Because abortions are done.
Tyrone, we can make some simple conclusions.
Hold on, abortions are done early on, not like late term,
right?
Like you said. I mean, come on, sir.
How do you know?
Because science, motherfucker. God damn, data.
Well, Tyrone, I want to at least take one off the floor. We definitely know it wasn't infanticide because her ass would be in jail.
That's not true either.
They be killing babies, man.
Democrats don't go to jail for nothing they do in New York, especially if they're highly placed.
Mama's boy.
Remember, she said
Let me get you
she
with a scenario, though, Mama's boy.
She said she was a councilman.
Yeah, let me get you a scenario, Mama's boy. Yeah, let's say a woman is dating a man. He seems like a successful businessman, a billionaire. But then you find out that, he defrauds companies. He is a sexual molester, a convicted sexual molester, and he has a trail of dirty deeds behind him. But you happen to be married to this man and you get pregnant. What do? You have the baby knowing that, this man is a convicted sexual predator and a fraud and a cheat and about to be broke. We can build scenarios all day and night. So, I don't know what Sarge is trying to do a victory lap on. The woman just basically said she was able to go to Planned Parenthood, use the services that Planned Parenthood opened to deal with the issue that she had, period. End of story. She's not doing a celebration about killing a kid. It's not a kid. It's an embryo. But again, this gets away from the point. This is the rabbit hole we go down, with the right. It's always what if. Again, maybe she was joking.
At the end of the day,
when Trump
about instituting
when Trump says
Christian values, taking over somebody's fucking life, like the Crusades. Either you accept Christianity, quit having sex out of wedlock, only get married and have sex with your husband, and only have sex with your husband to have babies, and that's it. It's this fucking tear you back to the 18 and 1900 early 1900s with this old bullshit when white man was king, when they was marching on Washington in white sheets. That's what this all about, man. They trying to control you with religion because they figure they losing control of the demographics.
It goes deeper than that, though. It goes deeper than that because they're trying to pocket watch what black people say, yet and still you have a white guy that's basically saying, I'm gonna stab my allies in the back if they don't do what I want them to do, and he's joking. He's not serious. Oh, he's just kidding. Meanwhile, he's laying out his plan to the people, and nobody wants to believe it. So, he can say and do what he wants to do, but we can't.
Joe, whenever I hear anybody come up with some sort of justification for some nonsense, I consider them an idiot. It just does some shit that can't be explained. You got an explanation for it. Yeah, you a dumbass. Because you just doing it off of feeling. There's no logic. And we hear
not
it.
only that, this lady was explaining the freedoms that she used to have in this country and the freedoms that's been taken away by the right.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like these people on the right that always tout about how free America is, and they don't say anything at all when these rights get rolled back. So Letitia James, she would just, I mean, there's nothing wrong. It was legal. She didn't do anything illegal. And Sarge keep describing it as her killing a child. That wasn't a child. I mean, it was in womb. So, I mean, and it's her business. So, I mean, with the rollback of Roe, then of course she's trying to motivate people to get out there and fight for their rights. So there's nothing wrong with what she said.
Okay. Now, I was accused.
I actually commend the woman. I commend the woman for putting herself out there like that, and she didn't have to. I commend the woman.
I was accused of doing a
Well, any black woman that can get under Sarge's skin gets my vote right off the bat.
This is astounding.
Okay, Sarge, you're a little low, man. We can't hear you, brother.
Right in the middle of the other guy doing a what if scenario. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This is like Kafka-esque. All right, look. This woman is a sociopath. She's a tyrant and a little commissar. She's all of these things. I gave you that incident with the abortion thing to show you her mindset. I believe she's a sociopath. I've never heard a woman other than that Busy Phillips woman who said something even worse. She's a talk show host out in Los Angeles. She's talking about how proud and happy she was she had an abortion because now she has a nice car and a home and she got married and all the great things that happened to her when she ended the life of a child. I mean, these people, I believe they are sociopathic. I do. And I think this abortion argument has given them the cover to be sociopathic publicly.
So what would your definition of sociopath be? Because I think you kind of missing the mark here.
A sociopath is a person.
Leave him alone, Tyrone. Let him describe that.
Now, wait a minute. You tell me you don't know what a sociopath is?
No,
I'm saying you don't know what one is. I don't think you know.
Yeah, you describe that
all right,
shit.
here's what. Okay, a sociopath is someone who shows no regard for right or wrong and doesn't give a damn about anybody else's feelings or rights. That's what a sociopath.
Okay, so I mean, yeah.
Now, I didn't call her a psychopath.
No,
I'll tell you, I'm almost ready to call her a psychopath.
You know who he's describing, right?
But like,
you know who he's describing.
Who did you just generally describe, though? I mean, like, come on.
A baby killer.
Okay, let's talk about somebody who said they can't see black people because the lights is on.
I don't know who you're talking about, so you better do it yourself. Don't ask me to do it for you. You do your own.
Okay, well, does this sound like a sociopath? Hold on for a second.
Pastor Mark Burns. Mark, where are you? Where's Mark Burns? He's a great guy. Good. These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones, you see? That's how far I've come.
Not caring.
That's how far I've come. That's a long way, isn't it? We've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. You know, they do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece. It's pretty amazing.
Don't that sound like a sociopath to you?
No, I think you confuse boorishness with sociopathy. You don't know the meaning of the word.
Clearly, he don't give a fuck about them black people living in.
Offensive. That might be boorish, but you can't say it's sociopathic.
Clearly, he don't care about the black people sitting in his audience.
But you have a trouble with the definition of words, I've noticed.
But do you think, based off of his statement, that he care about the black people sitting in that audience?
Again, what did I just say?
I'm asking you a question.
Based on that statement, the worst you could characterize it as is boorish.
I'm asking you a different question.
But not sociopathic.
Let's not talk about what he did.
I'm asking you a different question. I'm asking you, do he care about the black people that were sitting in that audience?
Yes, I think he does.
Okay, well, you're an idiot.
Okay, Tyrone. Tyrone, can we hold on? Let me get in right there, sorry. Let me get in there right, sir. Because we talking about a sociopath, right?
Good.
We talk about a sociopath, sociopathic behavior. I dare say, Tyrone, that the black people in the audience still supporting his bitch ass after he did that is the sociopath.
Well, yeah, we talking to a sociopath right now.
Oh, for God's sake, you got a man letting this country be invaded, and you worried about a molehill and a mountain at the border doesn't trouble you a bit. Unreal. Whatever.
Yeah, Sarge. I mean, listen. Do
Yeah,
you think
be concerned about his offhand, maybe insensitive remark. Oh God, stop the fucking presses.
Okay, listen. I would agree with you. I would agree with you if that was the only one. But we got
well, you gotta make Bob. You guys really magnify the trivial to the point of the momentousness.
Let me get this one.
It's the only one. It's not like we got years of this shit.
Okay, what else has he done?
Well, it's about the little things.
All right,
wait a minute, Tyrone. Wait a minute. Hold on, Sarge. It's about the little things. If this motherfucker wants to be the leader of the free fucking world and he cannot take dear attention to the little things, how in the fuck can I expect him to even give a fuck about the bigger things? You dumbass.
Fuck you, nigga. That's why he's got a goddamn staff. You full of shit, bitch.
What the hell?
He can take care of the big things being president. He's got a staff to take care of the little shit. This stupid motherfucker we got right now can't even read a goddamn sentence.
He already had a chance.
If you do not go back behind your stand and check the little things and make sure the little, because you have to treat the little things with the same importance as the big things.
Have a good Benoit night.
And if I know you don't give a fuck about the little shit, I know you really don't care about the big shit.
Well, guys, I guess that was the end of that, and I'm getting ready to. Sarge hung up, and I'm getting ready to get off here. That was a good ending.
Happy Benoit to everybody.
Sarge is a nut, man. There's something wrong with that dude, man. But I appreciate him coming by. You know, good Lord. But I don't know when I don't think he's ever going to get off this Trump train. Trump has, I got to give Donald Trump credit. He has created a group of people that is really obsessed with him, and I don't know how he did it. This is like rock star celebrity type shit. I don't know how he did this. So history going to reflect that these people just turned into a cult all overnight, pretty much. So I give him credit for that. But I don't know what the fuck wrong with these people, man. Just like Jabbar.
I give him credit for the longest grift in history, man.
Yeah.
This has been the longest grift I've ever seen.
Just like Jabbar. I mean, he sounds like a decent person, man, but I mean, he's got this Trump thing going, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well, Tyrone, if I could lend a hand here, if you go back and you watch some old movies like The Sting, okay, you'll find out that a grifter can oversell, right? It's a fine line in a grift. You want the person that you lying and you stealing from to stay right in a happy medium of belief, because you could undersell it and not obtain the grift, or you could oversell it and get caught in the grift. So you have to maintain this fine, medium to where you aren't overselling or underselling. You got them just wanting enough to continue to
that's
keep.
What I'm trying to say, Mama's boy. Trump is unintelligent. He's unarticulate.
Well, no, I wouldn't. But listen to me, homie. Trump has oversold in areas, undersold in other areas, and it's created this dynamic to where they're groupies now. You understand? It's the celebrity they love.
But see, he's already. You got to give him something. He's lost every fucking.
Yeah,
Listen to what I'm saying. He lost every fucking election since he's been president, right? He lied about his associations with foreign governments and dictators. He lied about the border wall. He lied about not making money off of the and he's lost court cases. He just lost 350.
I'm right there with you,
He got
Tyrone.
found liable of rape in New York. I mean,
Yes.
what the fuck is these people getting from this fucking idiot?
I'm gonna tell you my thought process, Tyrone. He's no longer like this, a representation of a party, a political stance. He's beyond that. Okay. These people are groupies now. They're okay. Groupies are the only ones that explain to you why they still listening to an artist that they know done rape somebody. They'll have an excuse, or they'll just tell you, I don't care, I like them. Okay. And that's somebody lost. There ain't no getting that person back. As a matter of fact, I remember this part of the industry. You better be careful because you can create a groupie that goes from a groupie to Jaws. And now they're a problem. They stalking you. You understand? So
Yeah,
Trump, I
I
give
don't know
him
how he
credit.
did it, but he did it,
I
man.
give him credit. I give him credit. He found the people that is right in line for his grift, and he completed it. So much so that he actually fucked it up, and they still fucking love him. He actually oversold it, and they caught him in the grift and don't care.
Yeah, I don't get it because I'm pretty sure if it was Barack Obama out there selling sneakers or selling NFTs or doing anything out of the purview of the presidency, Barack Obama couldn't wear a tan suit. He couldn't eat ice cream. He had to walk a perfect fucking line. But Donald Trump, he can get out there and do any motherfucking thing.
He stood up before the world and said he was a nationalist.
And say anything. And these motherfuckers.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Supporting the damn racists. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. This country is not what, I thought it was. I was delusional in thinking that we was better than this. But we ain't.
Not only did he stand up and speak in front of the world, he name checked a white nationalist group. Who the hell does that? The Proud Boys. What president have you ever heard name checks them and not and to denounce them, but to tell them to just stand by? What president does that?
Yeah, man. I mean, this is crazy. I don't know what kind of country, and it's kind of frightening, to be honest with you, because it looks like we may turn into a country like a Mexico or like I ain't gonna say a North Korea, but something different than a free democracy if these people get in charge, because rights are being taken away and freedoms are being, subdued, and there's no telling how far these people will go. Will they stop at the race line? Will they stop at the gender?
I don't think so, Tyrone.
Yeah.
I actually think if somehow the Republicans gain control of the House and Senate again, they're gonna sell America. They're gonna sell it off piece by piece.
It's already been sold, and it was sold when he was running against Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton told us that how involved Vladimir Putin was with this election. And after they did the investigation, they found out that yes, Vladimir Putin was influencing our election with that propaganda. And it ain't never stopped. Trump won.
Nope.
He got in the White House. The Russians came to the Oval Office, and
He's still talking to shit.
That Secretary of State went up there and made an oil deal with Russia. All of that shit kept going. So I don't know how far the America is sold already. And that's just the right. So when you look at the left and their involvement with places like fucking Israel, it's crazy. All these other countries got influence on this country right here. Our politics don't belong to us no more. and they can take that to the bank because that's just not. Because somebody's keeping Joe Biden old ass up there. Because Gavin Newsom should be the next fucking candidate, and I can't figure that out to save my life.
Well, Gavin Newsom said he ain't fucking with it though. He says it's Joe Biden's. He ain't fucking with it. And you know what? Gavin Newsom might have a game plan because he can come along after Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody is pulling those damn strings. Joe Biden is listen.
Yeah.
I want him to win, and I hope he win, but he's too old. He's too old. He's just old. I don't know. I mean, I see him coming out there and trying to, keep up and tell jokes and all that kind of stuff. But at some point in time in our lives, we're gonna have to sit down and enjoy the sunset by the lake, rocking our rocking chair, and he's at that point.
Well, hey Tyrone, at least now fuck the Democrats as long too. But I'm just saying, at least you got Democrats relinquishing their damn and stepping the fuck down.
Yeah.
I
do not want a Republican to win. I do not want a Republican to win, but I want some energy in the Democratic Party. They're letting the Republicans walk all the fuck over them with their messaging, with how vigorous they are against the other side. We need some damn AOCs. We need some Rashida Tlaibs. We need we need some people out there that's gonna fucking tell America that the other side is not a fucking political party no more. They just don't exist.
Let's see who this caller is, man, that I muted.
Huh? Go ahead. Who's the caller I unmuted?
It's Anthony, man.
What's up?
Let's talk about why you want him to win. What up, Tyrone? Let's talk about why you want him to win. Why do you want him to win?
Because the other side is racist.
That's the only reason?
That's the only reason for me.
Well, if that's the case, if they're a Democrat, you don't care who wins as long as they're a Democrat, right?
I don't want.
As long as they're not a Republican.
I don't want Republicans to win, though.
So there's no shitty Democrats out there that
sound like you a single issue voter, Tyrone.
Yeah, I am. I don't give a shit about. No, there's no good Republicans out there. And
you don't think so?
No. If you can watch all that racist shit go on in your party and not
you
say
don't
nothing,
do nothing about it, yeah.
Yeah, if you just sitting by the side and don't denounce it or whatever, and I'm not saying Democrats aren't racist. Please don't confuse that with what I'm saying. I'm just saying these people get on TV and be racist. They go sit in front of Tucker Carlson and talk about white replacement theory.
But when they do that, you know who you're dealing with, though. You know they're racist, man. What about the closet racists, the people that are at home calling you nigger? Like, at least you know where they stand.
Well, you got to prove it.
I mean, they're old white people, bro, who are either kids or teenagers in the '60s. There's a good chance they're probably racist, man.
Well, I'm
so
just
you
saying,
and maybe
it would be
that's a pretty bold ass fucking statement, you know.
Well, but it just my question is if you know
it was instilled
if a person has like this, if it's a firing squad behind the door, and I'm asking you a question, Anthony. If there's a firing squad behind the door, and a guy opens the door and shows you the firing squad, you're saying that you would go through that door first, then you would go through the other door that's closed, and the guy's saying, "Come on in."
But what is the other door?
I don't know. That's what you described to me. That's what I just put it in a different example.
Through the other door, though.
That would be my question. But from what you said, Donald Trump, at least you know what you're getting, right? So you would vote for him before you'd vote for Joe Biden, which you don't know what you get.
Well, I mean, you know what you're getting with Biden, pander, and it's pretty much.
Well, do you know or don't you know?
I know that he
That's not what you
like
described, though. You
5 years
described the
apart.
don't know scenario.
Like he's a hypocrite. He double talks a lot.
Well, you
Did you see?
described
Did you
a
see the?
don't know scenario.
Did you see?
He
Did you see?
described a
2016,
don't know scenario. I'm just saying,
2016,
I hate
20,
to be rude,
hold on.
but brother,
Bro,
you
you
described
don't have to be rude.
better to
This is
go
me,
with the
bro.
elephant you know than the elephant you don't know. That's what you described. You said you know what you're
No,
getting with Trump, but you don't know what you're
yeah,
getting with Biden. And now you saying you do know what you're
bro.
getting with. Which
No,
one is it?
no. What I'm telling you is, oh, never mind, bro. You want to
Oh,
argue, bro. Let's
man.
not argue, bro.
It's
Did you
not
see?
argument. I'm trying to understand.
Did you see him at the Black Conservative Conference down here in South Carolina, Anthony?
No, what I'm saying is they're all racist, man.
Well, I ain't gonna disagree with that. But whenever it comes to
It
politics, and
depends
you
on
have to go to the
who appeal to you more. And Trump, in my opinion, at the end of the day, like y'all not gonna like it, but if he was black, he would be a real nigga.
No, he
so
wouldn't.
he wait a minute, so that's what
Say
I'm asking
what?
you. Did you hear his speech at the Black? Did you hear his speech at the Black Conservative Conference down here?
About the reason black people are gonna support him because of him being discriminated against.
Yeah, and the only people that he could see in the audience was black because of the light. Did you hear all that?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
So and
What do you think about it?
It's racist.
I don't think that was racist.
Okay, well, I mean,
He's highlighting that black people are being discriminated against. Like he can, I mean, you can eat.
Bruh,
There's some meat on it.
if you got that out of what he said, you wasn't listening.
There's some meat on that bone.
If you got that out of what he said, you wasn't listening. But Tyrone, I want to put this out there because I think it's important for everybody to know. God damn, man, hold on. You wasn't
I was
talking.
talking though, bro.
No,
Yes,
you
I
wasn't.
was.
No, you wasn't, bro. But
Play the
it
audio.
ain't gonna
Play
take
the audio, bro.
it ain't gonna
Play the
take but a
audio.
second anyway, and you can go back. Just hold your thought. You know, every election, the Republicans get about 10 to 15% of black people voting for them any fucking way, and it ain't gonna change. It's gonna still be the same 10 to 15% of black people that vote for Trump this next coming election. It ain't gonna make a motherfucking difference. So I don't even understand why niggas is always dragging that shit around. Because the majority of black people don't fall for that bullshit. Only about 15% do.
I just opened somebody's line. Who line I open?
Right. It's me again, bro.
No, that wasn't you. There was somebody else on the line.
No, that's me, man. Can you hear me?
Oh, what's up, Big OC?
Oh, there go
I
my.
think Ant was trying to say something, and then you can go after him.
No, go ahead, my Coldplay brother. What's going on?
Hey, chilling, man. Hey, how many more years? If Trump wins, how many more years can he be president?
4.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't get it, man. These people out there acting like they world is dependent on this motherfucker, and I'm like, it's 4 more years and he out of there. You don't really pass any legislation. You know what I'm saying? So most of the shit that he gonna enact gonna get reversed by the next president that get in there because it ain't shit passing through Congress and the Senate. So it's just gonna be a bunch of
well, yes and no.
A bunch of
he would have to get started early.
Shit. Man, it first off, Anthony, is the economy bad right now?
It depends on who you're asking.
No. Is the economy bad right now based on all measurements that they typically use to determine the viability and the health of the economy?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Is it good or is it bad right now? It's good.
Are those the only 2 choices? Good or bad?
No. Yeah, good or bad?
It would be bad right now.
Oh man, you sound dumb. Based on what? Based on the stock market?
I mean, based on a lot of things.
Because right or wrong, stock market hit record highs
Homelessness.
under Biden. Stock market hit record highs under Biden. Yes or no?
I mean, it hit record high under Trump as well. That's when the crypto
listen
went
to the
crazy.
bullshit,
Hey,
man.
no,
You
he's saying
ain't being
something.
serious,
He's saying
man.
something because check this out, OC. That lets you know how cold Biden was because he broke Trump's records.
Yeah, but I mean,
Right.
yeah,
Unemployment.
I
Unemployment.
don't
Has it gone
kiss the
lower?
contest.
Has unemployment gone lower under Biden or higher?
Mama's little baby is a moron. Damn.
Come on, Anthony. You don't want to be serious, man. I understand. For
No,
social
I'm reading
media
the chat,
and
bro.
these conversations, it's fun to pick
No,
Trump, but you can't give me two policies. You can't give me
Read the
two
chat,
Trump
bro.
policies.
Hmm?
Can you give me a couple of Trump policies, man, that I should latch on to as a black man? What should I be? What is Trump offering black
that is
people?
a SARS question, bro. I don't really support Trump, bro. I'm just a contrarian, bro. If everybody's against him, I'm probably gonna be with him. The nigga I don't like. If everybody's jumping on him, I'm probably gonna take his side. This is who I am. Let's beat up on Trump. Why all of y'all gotta beat up?
You know
on
what they
him? Why
call
not?
folks like that?
What do they call them?
Called bullshit artists.
Oh, man. What do they call?
No, but
They call bullshit artists because that means you don't stand for nothing. It means you stand for nothing.
No, I don't think you vote, do you, Anthony? You didn't vote last time, right?
We don't talk about that, man.
No, you don't
Yeah. So I mean, politics is. I mean, yeah, we can have the conversation because if you didn't know that the Republicans, the conservatives, got this whole scheme that they're going to do, right? And it's called Project 2020.
I have my reasons, though. I have my reasons, Tyrone.
I got you. But let me just say this right here.
I don't want to be on a jury. That's why.
I got you. That's okay. That ain't gonna stop you from being on the jury. But the okay. But let me just say this, damn it.
Jury,
the Republicans, once they get in office this time, supposedly, they got this thing called Project 2025, where they got they recruiting 10,000 freaking conservatives. And the last time Trump fired all those people in those high offices, this time these people gonna be positioned to take over these offices and stuff. And it's called Project 2025. That's what he got lined up with the religious right and the Heritage Foundation if he wins this thing.
You do know that though, Tyrone, right? You do know that, right? You got to register to vote, right?
Hey, Anthony. Before you make yourself look, before you make yourself look like you don't know what you're talking about.
To be on the jury.
No, it isn't that. No, you wrong. It's when you live in Texas, don't you? They put you they put you on jury duty off your driver's license. When you register to get a driver's license, they automatically put you on the list for jury duty. It has nothing to do. You know how you get when you renew your license, that's when they send all that shit in. And I'll tell you another thing. Your voter's registration comes that way too. Because remember, they ask you if you want a voter's registration. You want to register to vote at the DMV.
Well,
if you went to the
my thing with saying that is that if you don't vote, then you just like ABC, you ain't got no dog in this fight, man. You just don't.
I agree with that. I agree. So I don't care either way, bro.
Well, okay, so I'm getting ready to shut the YouTube off. You guys can stay on the line. Y'all got about what? I don't know.
What the hell you got to do?
There's 12 people on here. So you guys can continue to talk, but YouTube, I'm getting ready to shut y'all down. I got some other shit that I need to do. I appreciate you guys calling in tonight, and I'll do the same thing next Thursday. Do y'all think I should start doing this on Friday nights?
I think
Instead of
Are you talking about both Thursday and Friday, or just switching it to Friday?
Come on, Mama. But I'm turning old now. I just turned 57. I can't. One night is good for me. Just switching it to Friday.
You know,
Nah,
you're
you
gonna
can
have to
call
add
Friday
Elder to
Contrarian
your
Night.
name in a minute.
Let Anthony come on and do his thing, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you my extent. Like, I'm the type of contrarian where me and Mama's boy don't get along. Hypothetically, if I called in one night and all of y'all